Okaini, Waki Akitachi. Welcome in, you guys. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Sage. Hey, Weimar. And hello to any of you out there who haven't had the chance to say hi yet. Welcome, you guys. I hope you guys are doing oh so very well. How's everyone doing today? Yes, Weimar, to answer your question. Hello, Tara. I am early, and the reason why I'm early is because this is a bit of a longer story. So I want to sit down and actually give it all the time and dedication that it deserves. Frankly, it deserves a lot. It's Arknights X Limbus. I didn't think I'd be able to do it because of my wrists, but thank goodness I'm feeling good enough to finally do this. I've been looking forward to this story for a while now. But yes, I heard this is a very long one. Hello, Alexander. So I wanted to get the jump start and actually start on this story. Which I was afraid I wouldn't be able to do it. But oh, I'm so glad I could. I've been farming the, so first and foremost, guys, so I have done all of my summons for the Limbus company egos, so we're good there. And I still have, oh my god, I still have so much. I saved all that for no reason. But yes, we need to actually go through this story. 107,731 lunacies. Wait, they already released the hard mode of this? The normal and hard are already here? Oh, fridge. Save for a wall piggy? Yes, that is what I'm saving for now. It released at the same time? Oh god, guys, that means there's no rerun. I thought there would have been a rerun.
따뜻하게 혹은 뜨겁게.
Alright. We gotta run the big boys.
흑수, 오필두, 이상이요.
That's double the reward? Why do you think I spent money for the egos? Oh, frick! I'm in trouble, guys. I didn't get the Amiya announcer. I thought I could get her on a rerun. Uh-oh. Aww. That sucks. That sucks. Oh. Well, that was quick. Okay, never mind, hold on. It didn't show up, but funny enough, right as I was saying that, someone just got us the Amiya announcer, and I'm pretty sure it was Will, frankly. Usually, it's Will. And it says, welcome back. Thank you, Will. Thank you. Let me replay the reaction since you...
Here's a present for you!
We got the Amiya announcer, guys! I'm gonna quickly pick that up. It's a collab. Why would they rerun? Because they usually rerun everything for voice acting. Duh. Duh. So, that's why. Duh, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just had to keep doing that. Maybe Kim Ji-hoon can get them to rerun. Shoot, should have said welcome back. Okay, well, thank you. Regardless, actually, let me quickly make a quick purchase here because I want my Amiya announcer ASAP.
오전에 해야 할
Looney Shees. And made my mind to gift it to you since I'm so dumb with money. Hush, Will, you're perfectly fine. Yay! Thank you, Will. Why is it that always happens? But it had to be on stream so you didn't forget to pick it up. Guys, look at my announcer. Look at my Amiya announcer. Wait, where is she? Am I blind? Did I pass by her? Amiya? Amiya? Oh, there she is.
管理人のダンテさんですね。アミヤです。ブリーフィング担当としてロドスアイランドから来ました。よろし
Wait.
くお願いします。
Oh god, you are blind? Twice as crazy. Is your mic okay? Yes. Yes. My mic is okay.
管理人のダン
Wait.
テさんですね。管理人のダン
Is
テさん
this
ですね。
Korean or Japanese, Amiya?
ブリーフィング担当としてロドスアイランドから来ました。よろしくお願いします。
진심으로 환영합니다. 관리자님.
管理人のダンテさんですね。
It's JP?
ブ
Okay,
リー
it's
フィング
JP,
担当
Amiya.
として
저번 라만 차랜드
Oh shoot, I realized I never put Sancho on here.
이번에는
주군의 책사이자
Zilu and
오른팔인
Zigong, or
자공입니다.
Zigong, I really want those two. So
주군의 명에
Effie,
따라
Saudi,
너희
Amiya,
부대를
Zilu,
지휘하게
Zigong,
되었지.
Sancho.
자루다.
Yeah, I need to finally start actually summoning. We gonna watch the unfolding. JP. Hello, how are you? We're playing Arknights. Guys, how long is this story? I saw one of my friends took 8 hours. So I'm wondering how long this one
만국된
is.
직선을 직선으로 질주하겠소.
And I guess it all depends on like how long you spend on each one. But you know, I was exploring a lobotomy corporation branch when my consciousness sinks into the depths. The sense of cognition itself, concept without form, floats into the shadow of an ever-winding river swept up its currents to nowhere. We ran into an abnormality, but Saudi told us that Hong Yuan's lobotomy court branch should be free of any abnormalities. The abnormality which had appeared out of nowhere was more otherworldly than any we'd encountered in our journey. It blew. It was a fathomlessly blue, and seemed to have pulled that endlessly drew us into itself. Just as I was about to recall the abnormality, a myriad of sceneries and a flood of incalculable thoughts crashed into my mind like wild waves before ebbing away from its shores. I was already lost adrift somewhere within my own consciousness when I realized this. Just how long am I gonna be adrift? The sensation of my own consciousness floating away is quite the unfamiliar one. I floated about in the strange state for a while. An unfamiliar voice seizes my aimlessly drifting conscious. Are you Dante? While on the topic of AK, will I be able to read chapter 15? Maybe. Arknights gets long. The fog of my vision clears as the voice breaks through the waves, and a concerned expression comes into view. They should have redid the art. Yes, I am. What a relief. Gregor, I think Dante has come too. So, who are... I was about to ask further questions to the stranger with particularly long animal-like ears, but... felt the drowsiness coursing back, with the terrifying memories of dream rendering me unable to speak. I have to get hold of myself. After an indeterminate amount of time passes, I barely manage to wake from the slumber to get a grasp of my surroundings, only to find myself surrounded by more unfamiliarities. There was the stranger from earlier sitting atop a rock, taking in the sights, a young girl who saved my life. Wait, so were those animal ears after all? It's not important right now. I have to prioritize figuring out where in the world I just ended up. So, we're standing by the Iberian coastline. How are you feeling? A little out of it, but I'm okay otherwise. Iberia, huh? Yes, we're in Iberia. Well, given that we're next to an ocean, maybe I drifted into U-Corp's Great Lake? Iberia was an unfamiliar name, but that was all I had to go on. Even the city was still full of unknowns. I radioed your colleagues when you briefly woke up earlier. I'll be here any minute. I see. Wait, my colleagues? You must have run into the sinners then? The fog in my mind immediately cleared as soon as I realized that the sinners were all nowhere to be seen. Wait. Amiya can understand Dante, guys. And Dante hasn't even taken a moment to be like, wait a minute, what the heck? I'm sure that'll come later, but Amiya Malbranch. Sinners? I think so. I ran into them earlier. They're all looking over the place for some little clock on their head. It was a pretty unique description, so I could tell right away that you were the person they were looking for. So this clock head does come in handy. Ah, Manager Bud. Dante. I'd woken up to an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar face, and in the midst, all around the displacement, the faces that appeared before me were a sight for sore eyes. Gregor, Honglu, Miss Rabbit here told me she found you unconscious by the ocean, and oh, I came as fast as I could, and oh boy, I was worried something might have happened. Were you lost at sea? I don't know. Well, I do think I'm fine, though. I guess not having any way to drink water is finally coming in handy. You should go get that checked out just in case. Wait, your head's waterproof, right? Gregor takes a moment to steady his breathing, then mutters a casual quip as he lights a cigarette. Well, he doesn't seem all that concerned. Maybe we're not actually in that much danger. So, what happened? Where are we? Do you remember entering that lobotomy corp Shichun told us about? Ah, yes. Yeah, we ran into New Amno and got sucked into it before we even had a chance to do anything. Man, I really thought that was it for us, especially with you getting sucked into it, Manager Bud. Amira can hear Dante because she has all ears. But when we came to, despite waking up with our faces in some ditch, we were all fine without a scratch. And it was a mess, realized that you went missing. We wanted to search for you immediately, but it took a while before we got a better bearing of where we were. So we're not at U-Corp's Great Lake? Some of us consider that to be a distinct possibility, but it's unlikely. Ishmael was really certain that we're not in District 21. She did concede that we might be an unknown area within the Great Lake of the outskirts, but that doesn't seem likely either, even the rabbit-eared lady there said. The outskirt regions of the Great Lake? I've met all kinds of people from all over Terra, but I've never met anyone who referred to the Iberian Sea that way. Terra? Iberia? As I found myself puzzled by these terms, a very obvious question struck me. Speaking of which, who are you? Really? You fellas haven't introduced yourselves to each other yet? It's just that it's a lot to take in. Whew, understandable. You did wake up in a pretty harrowing experience. She's actually, would you do the honors yourself? I'm Amiya, the leader of Rhodes Island. Please, just call me Amiya. I'm Dante, manager at Limbus Company. I know I'm late, but thanks for saving my bacon. It seems that Rodeo Island is a pretty big pharmaceutical corporation, but Gregor trails off ominously and scratches his head before continuing with some mild trepidation. This young lady with the rabbit ears doesn't know what the head is at all. As far as I know, any organizations within Terra with the same characteristics as Mr. Gregor explained. At least not with a name like the Head. Sorry, it's... also, sorry, it's Rhodes Island, not Rodeo. Sorry, Gregor's kind of bad with names. So, what is it? You're saying we're not in the city anymore? It'd be weird for any higher-ups at these huge corporations to know less about the Head than we do, let alone be completely clueless. Well, maybe we've tumbled into a previously undiscovered zone of outskirts or ruins. Or maybe we really found ourselves in a completely different world. Isekai! their conjecture's correct, we're in bigger trouble than we thought. This time, we accidentally stranded ourselves in the outskirts. Wasn't like when we stranded ourselves in the outskirts. Amiya stared at me with concern as she felt my distress. I think I can draw a connection to something else that's happened here. Really? Yes, recently anomalous signs and events have been occurring in Iberia ever since a mysterious dimensional door appeared. It's been said this dimensional door is connected to something very distant, something we've never seen before, so seems reasonable to theorize a dimensional door is how we managed to cross over to this world. I really would have appreciated Faust's input. Where'd all the other sinners go anyway? Bit late on the uptake gawking around for the other sinners now, don't you think? They're at a settlement near here where they've managed to help. They're all helping out with various odds and ends of the village, while taking turns searching for Dante, of course. You know, I never thought about how difficult it was to search for someone when we're like fish out of water. Man, we barely got a wink of sleep yesterday. Everyone's got to be really tired, so it's just you two out here for now? No, Ishmael and Yisung are the other half. We just happen to be the last group in the rotation. They must be somewhere searching for you, Manager Bud. Woohoo! We got any news early thanks to Mia's comms gear, but the other team didn't. Yeah, we got lucky. The team will... We don't know how to get in touch with them, so they'll probably continue their search until their shift's done. Oh, are you talking about the village you mentioned earlier? Uh-huh. Right, you haven't been there yet, huh? Guess it's off the beaten path. Well, we're going to have to rendezvous with the other sinners anyway, so let's head to the village for now. Something seemed to pique Emiya's interest as she fell in contemplative silence before speaking up. I would like to accompany you there. Sure, I don't see why not. You helped us find Manager Bud, and more importantly, you seem to know a lot more about this place than we do. Didn't know Truck-kun was an abnormality. Yeah, that's right. Truck-kun is always abno. I guess I didn't know Iberia that well either, but I should be of some help. They've closed their borders and are practically locked out foreign influences from affecting them, but I did get briefing before the mission. Those borders, huh? And how'd you get in, Miss Amiya? We followed Dr. Calcett's directions and crossed the country border inappropriately. Inappropriately? In Minecraft? Oh, does that mean you crossed the border without obtaining proper permission? Yeah. We had to cross the border somehow to investigate how and why the dimensional door came to be. Huh. Is it normal for pharmaceutical companies to be doing that? Large pharmaceutical companies often dispatch their agents for missions. Yes, Rhodes Island is, in essence, a pharmaceutical company researching various treatments for people infected with neuropathy. But we also work to prevent and assist in management of various situations that can occur in high-risk areas. High-risk areas? Huh. Wait, what? About your companions? I thought you came all this way on your own. That's, we were forced to split up due to certain forces that were in pursuit. Wait, stop! Mia's ears twitched as we came to stop scanning the area. And there! As we stood about confused, Amiya, noticing something, pointed towards the seashore. What are we supposed to... Huh? There. Scotty! Bickering with two unfamiliar faces. Again, move. You're in the way. You needn't worry as you do. We have ample experience battling monsters who are like them. Listen, I'm not worried. It's... Come on. Better to have 3 fighters than just one, right? Besides, you're the first person we ran into out here, so we've got a lot of questions to ask. Isung, Ishmael, Dante. You were unharmed. And here I was, getting ready for a 3 days long search. What a relief. I was really worried that we might never be able to find you. Woohoo, we managed to find them thanks to help from Miss Amiya here. Yeah? Are you two acquainted? Not a good time for a reunion. We can wait until after we take up sea monsters. Scotty, are those organisms the seaborns Dr. Calcett mentioned? They're sea terrors, to be specific. Less sophisticated ones among them. And they're probably here for me. Sea terrors? I hear the sticky noise of something viscous. Scotty Cat, Rhode Island is a kind of pharmaceutical company. And what not playing Arknights does. Trakun should be Aleph. Hi, Acceptor. Welcome, welcome. At the end of my gaze, strange monsters, unlike distortions, unlike Abnos, unlike anything. Looks as though the sea is encroaching on the land. I was almost certain we weren't at a Great Lake, but I'm not so sure anymore. Her experiences with the scent of brine on the Great Lake must have put her in a wary mood, as Ishmael seems to be a bit more apprehensive of these monsters than anyone else. Do you think those creatures could be whales or mermaids? I don't know. The Great Lake and outskirts are full of unexplored mysteries, after all. Oh. Dante, what do your senses say? It's unclear. I'd say the closest comparison I could make is the whales, but even that's not conclusive. Huh. Pekatulas. More enemies on the horizon. We should prepare for battle. Seem like we can talk things out with them, though. So let's take them out.
Limbus 컴퍼니の皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
행색이 이상하다.
Limbus Company.
그럼에도 이상이여. 내가 맞서. 내가
This should be pretty easy. Oh wow, Hayami, how are you doing? I'm doing good, Shiroe. My hands are feeling a little better. Thank you for asking.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えます。
Answer me. Hey, show.
効果的な攻撃でした。
쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
I carved the path. Ooh, that was so cool.
優れた指揮ですね。
Oh, frick!
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
Oh no, there's nervous impairment? At 30 stack becomes staggered. That's awful. They actually put nervous impairment in this game. I hate this. I can't believe Arknights has done this. How deep am I with Arknights lore countries? Not deep. Freaking nervous impairment. They're sinkers with nervous impairment. They found a way to make nervous impairment awful to deal with in this game too. It's amazing. Staggering based on it is terrible. Oh wait, hold on. I need to turn that down. I was wondering why it was so loud.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
Your skills are like those of elite operators. I love you, Amiya. My hated rival KJH also decided to give them Unbreakable because F everyone. So guys, a quick question. Will this story go into the archives afterwards, or if you miss this story, you just miss it? All remaining enemies have retreated to the sea. Good work, everyone. Oh, didn't think I'd have to deal with anything remotely like this outside the Great Lake. Can say that again. It would have taken a whole day if that Scotty character didn't occupy the other half while Miss Rabbit helped us from the distance. As we were catching our breaths after the battle, I heard a brief hum. When I turned to look at the source, I saw Scotty glaring at me with a palpable alarm. Strange people who transform. And ahead of a clock? I guess they're both technically true. Well, it's nothing more than a theory at this point. I think they have a lot to do with the dimensional door we're supposed to be investigating. We find out in 2 days. Nice to meet you, I guess. I only hear a ticking clock. Ooh, that's because only us sinners can hear Dante's voice. Huh? What's up? No, I'm just wondering how Miss Samia can understand. Yeah, what's going on here? Huh. Yeah, it is completely flew over my head. I called it. Their voice sounds like a ticking clock to me too. But I don't know. It's almost like I can sense what they're trying to say. What kind of emotion they're trying to convey. Isn't that because Amiya is like really, 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 really clued into things? Like, in terms of, you know, being the next Teresa. Your explanation reminded me of the blue boy from Sinclair's past. But I didn't quite feel the uncanny sensation with Amiya from then. Amiya just built different. She's an empath, apparently. She's an empath. I forgot that about Amiya. Amiya, Hayami. Sorta, yes. She's just special. So you can read me like how Virgilius does? So that's why you were joking red eyes, Amiya. Well, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's true. It's been a bit of a hassle for needing Honglu or Faust to translate for you, Dante. I'd like to know exactly how she can understand Dante, but I don't think we've got the luxury of time to sit down and figure that out. So, are we heading back? Sounds like a plan. It's not like we know anywhere else to go, right? Oh, and Miss Rabbit here will be tagging along too. What about my mirror dungeons? What about mirror dungeons? It will go away permanently? Aw, frick. I'm glad to be working alongside you two also. Miss Ishmael. Took the words right out of my mouth. You've already helped us plenty and clearly know a lot more about this place than we do. Journey, perhaps long. Perhaps embarking on it ere the sun's fall would be wise. How long is the journey? How long is the journey? No idea. It's not like we have a clock with us. I do know that it's not very far. Scotty quietly points my direction. Oh, Dante can't tell the time because they're not on time. And my clock head. I didn't choose to get myself a clock head. I look away from Scotty's inquisitive eyes, which are solidly fixed on my head. The coasts of Iberia are hardly good places for people to live. Those things can go anywhere in the world, but they thrive in places that meet the ocean. Recall the old April Fool's joke of Virgilius doing the Amiya pose? I do, and it makes me happy. The story is this long to cover, considering I skipped it all. Oh! Monsters are called seaborns or sea terrors, yes? Well, it is true that they pose a certain difficulties. They were quietly kind of monsters that bring strength and courage to drive out the populace. Don't judge them based on the brief skirmish. She's telling us to be on our guard, right? Scotty can be a bit curt, but she's not a bad person. I don't think she said anything wrong. Nothing rules out the existence of stronger variants of these creatures being out there. Scotty's concern only served to fan my curiosity, but something about her expression communicated that I shouldn't pry, so I quietly quickened my pace as we walked to the village. The Surrey should never be skipped. Oh, right, because it clears both of them. Both hard and normal for you. I mean, usually what happens is the story is like super duper long and then it becomes really short. Because, you know, you have to do a couple stages. This hardly looks like a village to me. It's more like one of the ruins, isn't it? Doesn't seem like they've done anything proper to upkeep this place. Not in a while, at least. I do say the collab does a great job of showing the personalities from both series. I'm looking forward to it. I have actually been looking forward to this story for a bit now. They're really living here together. From what I understand, a pretty sizable chunk of Limbus characters were not happy with the collab, so I imagine most of them skipped. Wait, what were we not happy about the collab for? What Why were we upset with the collab story? Well, what did KJH do? Nanda? Ocho na? Probably the gacha rates. Were they really that bad? I might have just gotten really lucky, actually. I love the story. I was reading ever since Saturday. I just wanted to finish it as fast as possible. That makes sense, because once it goes away, so I kind of get it. $133 spins, no ego. So the fact I got them so early is kind of unfair. Our steps leave no footprints on the wet, muddy ground. On it I see Ferro Muerto. Everywhere I look in this village, I see evidence of long, silent abandonment. We don't see these kinds of abandoned-looking ruins often in the city either. If you were a new player hoping to get Limbus from E, tough luck getting one? Hello, Strat. It's going good. We're playing the Arknights Limbus story. Just do the funny MD and save for Ishii. Better than this, at least. Well, yeah, there's always someone or something out there waiting to capitalize for free. You get a syndicate or corporation. Fix it up. Better than this, at least. So where are the sinners? Ah, they're clearing down. We were entrapped betwixt a twain of great ships, snaring winds at our sail. Oh, and that is when young Ishmael boomed her command, most resonant. Say no more. I didn't even have to try to search for them. An unmistakably sonorous, familiar voice, echoing triumphantly. That's San Quixote's voice. And when she's sharing her adventurous tales, there she was, standing atop a low podium like an actor on stage, regaling people in rags with tales of our adventure. And sirs, ye dogs, oarsmen, 'tis the moment I, Ishmael, the first mate vessel of Mephistopheles, shall never go. Oh, stop! Hold on! Just what do you think you're doing? I'm really remote, for I was about to regale them with the most fantastic tale of adventures at the Green Land. Manager! Verily, thou hast returned, Manager Asklaus, safely in tow. Well, they found Clockhead. Burning clock for her head? When I was a child, I heard a story about a legendary sarcasm with a flaming head. Why would someone like that visit our humble village? While their exteriors may carry elements that inspire fear in some, there's no case calls for it all. Yeah, they may look like that, but Dante's our manager and the rest are... Oh, hello. I'm sorry, who are you? They're two very nice people who helped us find Dante. This is Miss Emilia, leader of Rhodes Island. And this is Miss Scotty, their operator. They'll be coming with us for a while. With us? We believe that the dimensional door, which we at Rhodes Island are investigating, has something to do with why you suddenly woke up. Lack of interest from Limbus Company fans, gacha rates, and being a real gacha limit event that goes perma turned a lot of people away, which sucks because the event is really good. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. Hell screen coming. In my personal opinion, I wanted this because I want to delay Kanto 9. I don't want to see Ryoshu trauma. My wife. Ah, the villagers who were staring at us cautiously approached us. Did their conversation manage to convince them that we're not a threat? I sure hope so. Ah, you are friends of our saviors. Saviors? Verily, 'tis the grand title. Yes, that is indeed the word by which we are addressed. Be more precise by saviors, they are referring only to Faust and Otis. Let's give me a slight eye contact nod, but I can tell that her lips are drawing into a very subtle smiling arc. So I'm guessing something did happen. They were quite mistrustful upon our initial arrival. What business do outsiders have here? What if they're from the Inquisition? Oh no, after all we've gone through to get here. Calm yourselves, everyone. None of them are carrying what appears to be scriptures or lamps. And I don't think they're gonna trust us anytime soon. They're all old curmudgeons. Let's stink them PTSD. You can't do that, Ryoshu. We can't pillage their storage depots. It looks like they've already had it enough, hard enough as it is. I think stink is not a good way to get started either. Should we them elsewhere? Should we just find help elsewhere? Just look how thin their arms are. I don't think they're in any shape to help us out. Perhaps we could inquire as to the whereabouts of where we decide our lodging. Well, the landscape is certainly reminiscent of U-Corps, but I don't recall seeing or learning about any place that looks like this, though I can't say I've been to every corner of U-Corp. I ask again, what business do outsiders have here? Their fingers are tightening around the grips of their weapons. Prolonged silence will most likely turn this into a hostile encounter. We can't have that. Hi, we're for Limbus Company. We're fixers of justice. Yeah, that fixer. Oi, don't you know when to keep it down? Fixers? That over there is a ship blueprint, isn't it? Are you looking to repair a vessel by any chance? These construction materials seem to suggest so. Chief! This does not concern you. It's not something a mere outsider can understand. Curious. I've never seen an energy source like this. Have you run any tests to rule out stability issues? It seems to power the heat exchange via some method uncomparable to the utilization of fusion energy. Have you any thoughts on this, Miss Faust? General design is somewhat old-fashioned, but there certainly are inspired parts to this design, particularly with the usage of the core energy. While its stability would need to be further studied, this technology seems to be incredibly energy efficient. Oh. You identified all of that by merely glancing at the blueprint? You must be the village chief then. So, I have a proposition for you. In return for assisting with their ship repair, we were promised to ride on their vessel. Miss Faust has theorized that perhaps by going out to sea, we may find where we once came. Does that mean we can find a way back out there somewhere in the sea? Nothing is certain yet, Dante. At this moment, we're working based on a hunch. A hunch? So guys, I will be honest with you, in the event I can't finish this in time, I'll probably read the rest on my own. But I am hoping to get through all of it in this one sitting. I'm just giving the excuse me, heads up in case my wrist sacked up. I slowly turned back towards Faust, who nodded solemnly in response. We're really in a different world. Even her Gesellschaft has no issues were encountered in the repair process. Faust smiles faintly as she looks around. Then she pulls me in by the hems. She whispers in a low voice. My connection to the Gesellschaft is currently operating at suboptimal level, Dante. So it's still connected at least? Indeed, it is. However, even exchanges of simple informations are taking up dozens of hours by current calculations. Is this a warp train situation? Because we're in a different dimension? Cause should be identical. We have been connected to an unidentified, unprecedented dimension. However, Faust is aware that the pathway to our original dimension is a bit too close this time, unlike the situation back at Warp Train. So to get back to where we came from, indeed, traveling through the pathway is the most feasible solution. Average time is 8 hours? Jesus! Well, I am also a genius after all. A mere conjecture that we probably came through a dimensional door of sorts. Looks like the dimensional door might be what Faust is looking for. With high likelihood, yes. At least there's a way back. I find myself calming down a little. Oh, speaking of, when do you think you can wrap up the repair job? As fortunate as it should have been, a majority of most of the time-consuming parts of the repair have already been completed by the locals. It shouldn't take more than a day or two to get to the core parts shipshape, Executive Manager. We'll be staying here for a bit more days then. How did you manage last night? Well, like I said, we've been keeping ourselves busy looking for you the whole time. We took turns helping with repairs and resting, but I doubt any of us got a proper night's rest. Still, we weren't cold thanks to villagers who kept the fire going for us all night. Not to mention how they helped us a ton with that local map they drew us. Oh, also, the chief handed us this earlier. What's it for? Looks like a sack to collect water. Give it here. I know how to get that installed. I mean, Hayams can probably clear it first try. Why did it take you 6 hours despite skipping the story? They're really giving us the best treatment they can, huh? As for food, we managed to fill ourselves with some cookies and bread Radia keeps in her pockets. Didn't want to eat their food supply since they're already pretty tight, you know? She carries enough cookies and bread for 12 people. They did offer us some nosh, those dried fish things, but we refused. I ain't taking food from the lady. No need to concern yourselves much with our hospitality. You've done more than... Uh-oh. Scotty was unhappy. Distinguished outfit from the villagers. Then... Uh-oh. That's not good. There's an empty building there, so feel free to occupy it for the night. Guys, that is not good. I'm gonna guess eating these dried fish things and Scotty's reaction is telling me that this is not a bueno moment. Hey, speak for yourself. I've been looking forward to sleeping with the roof over my head since, like, yesterday. This guy seems fishy. You'll catch us cold sleeping in the elements in this environment, which is fine by me for the rest of you, but we can't afford to have the executive manager or our honored guests suffer that fate. Honored guests? With the AK lore, I have a feeling they're gonna turn into fish. I heard what happened from the 4 who left in search of the exec manager. First, I would like to begin by imparting my infinite gratitude to you for finding and rescuing the exec manager. I hear that you are leader of a pharmaceutical company. This acquaintance shall come in handy in case our stay becomes significantly prolonged. I'm just surprised her boldness to say something so materialistic when we're standing right there. Can I stay in your village too, Chief? The chief took a brief clip at the hems at her wrist and nodded. Welcome to Ferro Muerto. You're welcome to stay for as long as you want. Please, do let me know if you find yourselves without food. Our food supply may be tight, but we have enough to share for those who helped our vessel. Oh yeah, better not go back on your word either. I forgot what kind of local delicacies await. Dried fish like they were eating earlier? Hey, Chief, what is it? How are you surviving out here by the sea? Perhaps a question of how we're surviving may be somewhat misdirected. For we are only pursuing every possible avenue because we must survive. Chief responds to Scotty's perceived hostility with a hearty smile after leaving some firewood. I'm going to learn much more from here. Huh, you going somewhere else at this hour? Scotty, does this have something to do with the coast? I remember what you said before when we got into the village. Something about how the coasts are really handy places to live in. Dante wants to know if something has something to do with the coast. Do you understand the Aegir language? Aegir language? No. Dante, Scotty has spoken Aegirian. I couldn't understand a word of Scotty and the chief's conversation because I don't speak Aegirian. It may only be enough to be lexically similar between one of the city's languages and the language Scotty spoke, and then to comprehend the meaning. Weird coincidence. Anyway, I have some things to look at too. Something you're all too slow to see. You still have to tell us about it later. Please remember that you're not on a solo mission, Scotty. This is a team effort from Rhodes Island. Will do. Scotty nodded lightly before leaping off into the night, out of her sights. I'm kind of worried. She's not the best with people, but she's pretty thoughtful. She'll be okay. Should we head inside? The sun's starting to set already. Oh yeah, we can probably just pick up an unlit building and stay there for the night, right? We're trying our best to ignore the mood that was starting to turn off, but we made our way to the nearby unoccupied building. No beachside properties, shorekeepers that sussing off. They're living next to the stores. The seaborne cult has infiltrated the ocean, infiltrated Iberia. Call the abyssal hunters Boo Wump. So from what I'm understanding, the boss fight is what takes this story so long. It's not the story itself. The boss fight is a long battle. We walked past a few narrow buildings and remnants of the narrow building before we came across a hall. Okay, now we're ready. With the curtains on the window removed, the smoke has an exit. It's like sweepers long? Jesus! So, what I will probably do is do it on the, I will probably do the boss fight on normal so that we can get through the story. Whoa, I thought we were doomed to shudder ourselves to sleep with soaking firewood. We just have to get a small fire underneath it until the wood dries up and catches fire. The downside being all the smoke. It's clear that she has some field experience, like some fools I know. Ah, I shan't sit here and let her carry the burden of labor alone. Bequeath upon me thine ingredients, young Rudian, for I shall conjure thee a pot of special fixer soup. You're making soup with peas and jelly? No. You are not getting anywhere near the kitchen again. Not after what you cooked up last time. Well, I must admit to a certain level of interest, as many of our fellows viscera are oft racked with intense agony upon ingesting dishes of making. Perhaps it should be wiser that we save the occasion for a safer environment. Right, don't you remember? We agreed to leave the cooking to Mare or Audi if we're ever in a situation like this. Remember? Did we? I see. See, I think it's becoming a bit of an unspoken rule after everything that happened. Remember back during last year's cooking contest at K-Corp? There were only 2 people who managed to get remotely positive reviews. Ooh, that means we should try Otis's cooking again. Denied. We still have plenty of high-calorie foods like cookie and jelly here. I find no reason to do something so inefficient. Glad everyone's still energetic, given the circumstances. It can be easy to suddenly wake up in an unfamiliar environment. To a more suitable but underlevel team, I guess go normal. Normal does not debuff the boss. Speaking of which, did you manage to reach your colleagues, Ania? She shook her head, concerned. They might have lost their comms device, or maybe ran into some trouble. Could they be in danger? I don't know, but I'm sure they're okay. Docta, Kalina, they're both more capable to look after themselves. We're gonna see the Docta and Kalina! Corporations are, by their nature, organizations in pure profit. Yet your activities of your corporation seem those like charity, as opposed to the pharmaceutical company. Is there an explicit thing for this? I wanted to know as well. How did a pharmaceutical company like Rose Island helping people? Something about what Honglu said brings back unpleasant memories. A horrible experiment seen through the cascade of flowing tears in the face of suffering. Monmute Creed that left a terrible wound in Honglu's fathoms. Pharmaceutical companies I've seen in my journey were corporations that, despite possessing the capacity to heal, chose to obsess over profit it can provide. There are many in Terra who are suffering from a disease. Disease crystallizes you. It spreads deeper and deeper into the infected's internal organs, culminating in their death. It's called erypathy. Amir showed me the back of her right hand, dotted by what appears to be obsidian crystallizations. Its appearance reminds me of bio treatments from the back streets, but there's something more to it. Something more restless and sinister. It's a terrible, painful disease, but there haven't been any recorded cases of full recovery. Yet, there's an even worse problem. Pray, tell, what could be worse than an incurable, deadly disease? While it varies region by region, discrimination against the infected is widespread across Terra. Those who suffer from it must face unfair treatment. Yi-sung began with a dark expression. Some are quarantined in places with terrible inhumane conditions, and there have been massacres too. I don't mean to be callous, but is this erypathy highly contagious? No, there have not been any recorded cases of infection, as long as the subjects are alive. But when the infected dies, the crystal growths on their body decay and turn to dust, scattering, which is what spreads the plague. Then, barring environments like active battlefields where casualties are expected, staying within close proximity of infected in daily life would seem to hardly pose a high risk. So what's the problem then? They're already past the caring about what the problem is. Once people start feeling iffy, all logic goes out the window. Oh, Gregor would know. Because his arm. I can't believe the doctor said it's time to arc and be knights. Yeah, okay. Yes, it is important to develop a cure, but I think what really matters is that we change the circumstances for the better for the infected. That's not going to be an easy endeavor, though. That is what gives your effort more meaning. I hope you can achieve that goal, Mia. I really do. For truth. The city, this world we both live in, lots of surprises, don't we? What kind of world did you come from? This city? What kind of place is the city, anyway? In a place with too many pointless rules. The kind of place where the moment you think this isn't that much, you see something even worse. Try as I might, I couldn't even think of a single positive thing about the city. The sinners seemed to be in agreement, as most of what came after was quite scathing. The kind of place where good deeds rarely ever go unpunished. Where sympathy is a good attitude to have if you like getting stabbed in the back. Nothing good ever works out there. It's a high hole. It's an irrational place full of absurdities. Absurdity is omnipresence. Therefore, it is not subject to one that should be aggrieved. Which, we can at least grouse about them, but, I mean, it's the only thing we can do. It would be more correct to experience more and acclimatize oneself instead of complaining. You did say something like that last time. Just as the mood started to turn sour, Don Quixote's shout went through the awkwardness. Verily, nary a day goes on by untarnished by villains and their fell deeds. Yet, worry not, for where evil rises, so do fixers of justice do. Don Quixote jumped from her seat and passionately shook her fist, which was followed by the heavy crap of some pebbles thrown down. Don Quixote, watch out! Who the heck is this? And from beneath the wall that suddenly broke, a visage of a villager appeared and stared back at Don Quixote. How farest thou? Farest thy foot? You gotta apologize first. Frick me, man. Oh my god. Apologies, for I hardly expected the wall to crumble with such ease. Aren't thou unhurt? Any injuries? Two? Pray tell what? Forget the apology. I just wanted to know what happened next. The fixer's justice or said to do what? Oh! Must thou come to hear a tale of the fixers? I don't know about this. About coming to us. Miss Don Quixote was the one who punched the wall down? Oh, is it too late an hour? I don't mind waiting till morning if you want to sleep. Nay, not at all. 'Tis a great time to tell. In fact, prithee sit thyself here. You ungovernable fool, calm down. We don't even know who she is. And you don't you forget to share those fixer tales over there to not disturb our sleep. Thou makest a request most untenable. These tales deserve to be announced to the world with great gusto from the center. Yeah, that's the best way to hear those kinds of stories. But we should probably introduce ourselves to each other first. Name's Mayers. How should I put this? Did you meet the chief of the village during the day? That's my Gramps. Oh, that nice guy? Yeah, so he had a granddaughter. Yeah, I have not seen you once, Miss Mayers, under the sun. Oh my, you're right. I thought the village was completely dried of any young blood. Just like Radia said, we didn't see Mayers out there. Anyone else in the village we could comfortably call young. You're telling me Gramps is worrying over nothing and told me to stay put outside. Excuse me, guys. Going on and on about the dangers, the outsider's pose, and everything. It seems they do not give full faith to their saviors. There are things you cannot share, even with those who you trust with your life. Though I would like to know why. My. So there are a bunch of kids stuck indoors in the village? No. There isn't anyone around the village in my age at all. If that's the case, I can understand why he's overprotective. Anyway, it's our turn. We are... Ah, I'm good. I heard enough. I get the idea. You did? Oh, Rydell, how did you hear about us? Via listening device? Secret listening device upon our chamber? Mayors tapped on this part of the side of the wall. That's soundproofing. I could hear pretty much everything. Don Quixote, right? Everything Don Quixote practically sang during the day. Verily, I see. I think you could really do with some sense of embarrassment for once. Well, I guess that's good enough for self-introduction, so... Can you regale me with the tale of fixers who bring justice to the evils in the city? Indubitably. Then, this shall do. I shall regale thee with a tale in which the legendary fixer, Arkmagnificence herself, the Red Mist, hath... I suppose that killed any hope for a good night's skip. But, you don't usually pass out within the minute of hitting the hay, no matter how noisy things are. Well, do you take me for some kind of hibernating bear or something? Look, even I have trouble sleeping when there's noise all over. Sigh. I guess the bear in hibernation is a pretty apt descriptor. For all that grumbling and mumbling and moaning, he dozed off before any of us did. Aside from the moment his head touched the ground, some other sinners were fast asleep as well. Mersault had his usual steadfast adherence to his routine. While Faust lay claim to one of the few available cloth sheets as soon as the close of business for the day was confirmed. The sinners, who had spent the entire last night searching for me in this unfamiliar land, slowly began to fall asleep as well. Meanwhile, the fixtures of Zwei, though the night was no longer young, Don Quixote still vigorously sharing the tales of adventures without fatigue. She's not determined to do this until sunrise, is she? Ooh, I guess it's okay, since Mayor seems to be having fun. As I continue to watch the pair with some mild concern, Mia, not yet asleep, approached me. The city Miss Don Quixote speaks of seems to be teeming with fixers of justice and exhilarating tales and adventures. Did you experience all of them yourselves? No, of course not. Don Quixote's stories are usually of other famous people. But she's telling it with such vigor as if she was there herself. Well, I guess if you really wanted to get into it, some of them might be retellings of Don Quixote's personal experiences. Ishmael replied uncertainly, thinking back to the plays we were made to watch in La Mancha Land. Well, I think all of those stories can be only partially true. Just go to show how ridiculous of a place it can be. We wouldn't need fixers of justice to begin with if we were living in a just world, right? A really good place to live would be quiet and peaceful. That's true. I hope there will come a day when Rhodes Island can be a normal pharmaceutical company. Something wrong? No, I just thought Miss Mayers and I made eye contact. Did she overhear our conversation? I looked her direction as well. Mayers excitedly reacting to Don Quixote's tales. Whoa! What happened then? Thus spoke Lady Altus boldly before the soldiers who stood in our path. Thou presumest to stand in our path, servants of master most unworthy. I, Altus, shall educate you in a manner that... Don Quixote was now retelling the stories of Limbus Company's adventures in Yuan. Aldous, who could no longer stand by and hear Don Quixote's unintentional alterations of the story, jumped to her feet and shouted, "Dang it, what kind of nonsense are you feeding her? I never said anything like that." Verily, certain aspects of this retelling may be over-exaggerated. That's tales of adventures for you. Something that's bound to get dry when the story's told too realistically. You know, nothing, not even everything resembling a proper record or book, remained once the profound silence. So I've always had a craving for these kinds of stories. But Iberia doesn't stop Iberians from immigrating, contrary to their tight immigration control. You ever thought about leaving this place? It's still a challenge to cross, especially since we're going to have to pass through the larger cities managed by the Inquisition. You don't seem particularly fond of the Inquisition. Why is that? That's because the village was formed by people who grew tired of living under the Inquisition's rule and fled. Sorry, but what kind of organization is the Inquisition? Sinclair asked, face turning cold upon hearing the Inquisition and the people that fled from it. Yeah, the Nagel and Undhammer. The Nagel and Hammer. That's why he's so concerned. According to Dr. Kaline, the Inquisition is what filled the power vacuum before Iberia once fell into chaos. That is, Inquisitors are the Home Rapier and Lamp wielding protectors of Iberia's cities from lawlessness. Wait, does that mean Forehead Girl is an Inquisitor? I didn't know she was. Yeah, they are, but there's the Church of the Deep. The Inquisitors will go to the lengths to deal with incidents related to chirps that worship seaborns. An organization of these worship monsters? She is. Oh, so she was an Inquisitor. Forehead Girl. It seems a cultish fanaticism is a plague wherever we go. I feel that there are people with all sorts of wrong faiths and beliefs are so common. See, the Seaborns are the ones that messed Iberia up. So, following their logic, apparently it's okay for them to arrest anyone who's even remotely connected to them. I see no problem with that. No, I'm kidding. Are you saying that it's because that Iberia is like this because of Seaborns? Those things from earlier? I guess they're troublesome to deal with, but they didn't seem all that strong. Anyways, it's just what I heard from Gramps. But the Inquisitors ended so many people, too, in their crusade with the Church of the Deep. For those who proclaim to be on the side of justice, they seem quite fond of committing such atrocities. Such villainy. Seems like a reasonable policy to me, but must pose a clear danger to the daily lives of civilians. Yeah, I heard I was the only survivor. Everyone in my family ended in Minecraft. You must have had to endure such a long period of pain to be able to say something like that with such composure. For Iberia, they are heroes who will bring land back to the golden age that will return again. But Gramps said they're just oppressors making life difficult. Fleeing from the Inquisition's gaze. Yet, wherefore hast thou decided to settle at a place that is so, what? Quixote-dan. Run down? Indeed. Yeah, I know. But it's not that bad once you get used to it. Besides, we managed to find a new path thanks to you guys. New path? Well, it's getting late. Will you mind repairing the ship tomorrow too? This place really has no soundproof at all, huh? Good talk, everyone. Let's hope to do this tomorrow too. After seeing Mayors and the other sinners, those who were still up anyway, I laid mine down with the cloth artifacts. A mysterious world that is neither the city nor the outskirts. it seemed like the daily lives of its people were just as difficult than anywhere else. How many times did I watch streamer do the AK collab? How many times? Mr. Stratos Furry.
의로움을 세우기 위해
이제야 불어나 명을 받들
주군께서 모이를 뿌리셨으니
Goodness gracious, get back.
횃대에서 내려 전장으로.
It's so big. Amazing. I didn't think there were any remaining vessels in this class of Iberia. And I aspire name, 'tis shall be called Rebellion de las Masses. A revolt of the masses, a name very much mired with peculiarity. Honglu chimed in. Though he was fond of its size, being about the same boat at his home, while Ishmael quickly jumped to the correct size to correct us that the size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Mephi or Indigo Elder Skiff. I was thinking it was going to somewhere around Mephi's size at most. Are you sure we can get this ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed with you yesterday, the great majority of time-consuming repairs had already been completed by the villagers. The extent of our repairs efforts only concerned a few components within the vessels that the villagers could not repair, which shouldn't take us much time. Now I'm for... Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust also are malfunctioning, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. May a Korean boy speak a little Espanol? I think so. I don't know why. Something tells me I didn't want to linger here for too long. So please be thorough about it in case. I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience of the Great Lake was enough. Do not worry, Dante. Unlike Miss Vistopheles, most functions of this vessel, buoyancy gear, propeller, steering gear, are all operational capacity. They seem confident enough. It should be safe this time around, right? Are we taking that rope to climb up to the ship? No, there's a lift-like apparatus down here. It should take us up to the ship. Its stability was verified yesterday. Let us board the lift. You're 100% certain, right? Oh, it is afloat now, Dante. I don't think it'll be sinking anytime soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Oi! Are you two just gonna faff about down there? We're heading up now. No, we're going with you. As I made my way to the vessel's bridge, we find Dante was actually Fante. I was greeted by an extravagant... Oh, Jesus! Why is their ship so fancy? AS. For a bunch of poor people, they have a really fancy ship. Aesthetically satisfying, she says. But too ostentatious, not quite my style. Our young Mephi is quite the excellent vessel, yet imagine the adventures we could embark on aboard this vessel, most lavishly decorated. As Faust and Aldous were working on one of the control panels, Ishmael walked up another and interfaced before giving it a knowing nod. This must have been an investigative research vessel of sorts, but it does seem a bit extravagant for one of those. Young... I love how Dawn calls her colleagues young this and young that, despite how they're not that young. Look, coordinates updating in real time, it seems. The coordinates seem to have been set somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it points to a small inlet? Nope, no islet there. Whoa! Blimey, lass, you sure know how to sneak up on people. Mayors? Huh. What? Did I actually surprise you? I did ask if you guys were gonna come fix the boat today. Still, I didn't know you'd be here. Why are the coordinates set to this location? There are several undersea cities beneath the coordinates, collectively known as Aegir. Ramses' home. I see. Understood. compared to her, everyone is young. That is true. Sanchote is very, very old. It is understood why the promise to repair the shift was sufficient to earn the trust and the title of saviors. What's she on about? Someone get to translating. Consolidating and cross-referencing the observed particular circumstances of the village and the statements from the village chief alongside information garnered from exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge the significance. Of course, while this may constitute a sequence of logical connections that poses to employ any degree of effort to explain in more digestible language would constitute a pursuit of inefficiency. Go with the baton. I implore you. I shall explain it in full. I was wondering when Miss Smart Booty would start gabbing like that again. So what's she on about? Heathcliff's shoulders relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. A brief observation of the village seemed to suggest that their subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of their daily subsistence consisted of dried food. Considering what Scotty said about the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't from around here either. Maybe it's food packed when they first came to Ferro Muerto? Some villagers were armed, yeah, and those sea terrors weren't exactly formidable, but... Stratospheric. Poor Strat. Strat didn't do anything and became Fur Boy. Right, I get what's going on here. Lass and her granddad were about to visit their hometown, and they're trying to get some food supplies there to feed their villagers. And to convince them, they're planning to use the fact that they're from the same neck of the woods, or sea, I guess. Oh, so we're not just repairing their ship, we're repairing their food supply too. Well, what's wrong? It's, While the expressions are rather crude, Heathcliff's summary of the situation was dire. Sinners stared at him with mild suspense. And I did, too. What's with the annoying looks? Oh, wait, you sods. You don't think I'm that dim-witted, do you? Heh, top-notch intuition. It's just that it's been a while since you've shown the side of yourself. Thinking back to it, Heathcliff's intuition always been excellent, and he'd often been put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. You know, when you think about it, it's kind of your fault for... Oh, I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi, get back here. Now the fools are out of the conversation. Was he correct? Otis looked away from the usual chaos and asked Mayors. Honestly, I'm surprised. He was on point. Yeah, food's been running low in the village. At this rate, it won't last another year. But the Aegir will. I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they'll welcome the others? Too? Unlike Mayors or Chief, they're not Aegir. I believe they will. Iberia suspects and hates the Aegir for no other reason than the fact that we're from the sea, but... we're just a group of starved land dwellers. Don't disrespect my boy. Poor Stratos. Prithee, might thou explain to us who the Aegir are? I had initially thought it would be a reference to a region, yet it also seems to refer to the natural affiliation of sorts. Maybe there's somebody like nest dwellers, though I don't think I've ever heard of a nest that accepts Backstreet's people with open arms. Backstreet's back. Alright. Alright. Or maybe there used to be some rich folk. If they call them nests, them nest toffs, Aegir here, then does that make the rabbit ears last Aegir too? No, Heathcliff. It does not make. Wait, In what world did they come from? Do they not distinguish between races? That is not entirely true. Delineation between races is a concept that does exist. Though I only saw it in the Fathoms, there were those terrifying things called cuckoo spawns. I meant Heathcliff, but they can join the club. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearances depending on race, like my cloudus ears. I've got pointed ears because I'm Aegir. That's not a characteristic every Aegir shares. Closest idea to what they're discussing appears to be... Don Quixote seemed to be struggling to finish your sentence. Mersault stepped in to continue. By the context clues and of word usage, including the names of classification, the closest example in our world would be the Blood Fiends. Similar external appearance to humans, different natures, comparable sapience. Yep. That sounds like a Blood Fiend, alright. Tis of my belief that blood fiends are ostracized due to the nature that maketh coexistence with humans difficult. It may be that the Aegir also. I'm sure some of them possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult. They're probably rare. I play every instrument with my rat mouth. That's... well, the language is new, but the idea itself is similar to city folks like us. Think of feathers of fallen wings. Kids born in the back streets, people who replace their body parts with prosthetics. The form differs, yet its essence. In its essence, we find the thread. Something about how we keep finding similarities in the ways of our lives, despite finding ourselves in distant worlds with different races and humans. Excuse me, guys. Felt oddly discomforting. And the point is, you guys are doing real solid on fixing up our ship. Let's move from these gloomy conversations. This way. Ship tour may have to wait. The repairs are almost completed, but an issue has arisen. Issue? Well, it's not reassuring at all. Of course, a battle. Multiple life forms ahead. Assumed to be sea terrors. An issue has arisen. See, this is why we have Faust around. Faust lets us know whenever we're in danger. Ship radar system seems to suggest that the vessel's surrounded. They're the same monsters from yesterday. See. Executive manager, please order us to prepare for battle. Dang it. Are these the sea terrors you encountered? They look a bit different, but yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. Mia, please support us from the battle like you did yesterday. Canst thou fight, young mayors? I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way. Did I bought the Ami Yi announcer pack? As a matter of fact, a wonderful young gent named Will got us the Ami Yi announcer pack. Then let's hurry down there. We don't want them damaging the ship any further. Lickboo Company. These fights are so easy. Oh.
맞아. 여기까지 다 울리지 않았어? 호위.
But I feel like the boss fight is the hard one. So the fight itself is hard. The fights are easy leading up to the boss fights. Then the fight itself is really hard.
나쁘지 않겠지.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이다.
적에게 치명상을
저
입혔군요.
해충들을 도려내.
관리자님은
쪽방향이 아닐
당신이
텐데.
생각하는 것보다 대단한
There are
능력을
two
가지고
roadblocks.
있습니다. 제가 늘
Ooh,
말씀드린
two.
넌
난다
저는
데스까?
언제나 옳은 말만
고작 이
한답니다.
정도 탕류의 허덕이다. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
이제
이건 예상
이제야
못했나
실력을
봐.
좀 내시네요.
깔끔하게
평소에도
몰았군.
이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
Say thank you to Squilliam Kaze. Why does he have to become Squilliam?
신이 목을 떨궈주마.
Squilliam tentacles.
무상한 목숨. 불끈한 지원.
Kaze bought a noise win earlier this stream. Yeah.
좋았어요.
어우, 제대로 꽂혔는데.
흑수묘 뒷박질 준비.
말로 받아내라.
전술의
Squilliam temples.
넌 대단한 질.
Oh,
관리자가 아니라
효율적인 대처로
지휘관이었던 거
개체를
아니야?
깨뜨렸습니다.
고작 이 정도
기계는
탕류의
이대 발린
허덕이다.
말 따위 개체의 유효한 속성을 정확하게 간파했습니다.
그쪽 방향이 아닐
제
텐데.
예상만큼 관리자님의 능력이
괜찮은
우수하다는
공격이다.
것이 증명되는 것 같아.
앞으로도 그렇게만
다행이군요.
해주세요.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Squilliam is when did I become Squid? Squilliam is rich and Will has money. It works. But he's not a famous musician, man.
지원했군.
Or composer or whatever Squilliam was.
짓밟아라.
틈 끊어.
It's a sweet, sweet, sweet Squilliam. Yeah.
내가 있는 곳까지 흔들리던데.
네, 완벽한 돌입이었어요.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize they did the mission accomplished. I'm so happy. This is the best collab.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만.
And it, oh my god, and it has the Arknight music at the end. Din 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 din.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が。
흑수묘
22세기
뒷박질 준비.
이야 숨쉬라 맞아.
Man, I read it.
이제야
Man,
실력을 좀
your
내시네요.
poll, I read it on Discord.
평소에도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
Music goes hard this interval. Yeah, because it's Arknight music.
불끈한 지원했군.
배물을 꿰.
Arknight
방금의
destiny.
적절하지
도련해.
않습니다.
쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
개체의 정보까지 일일이 읽어드리는
앞으로
기능을
그런
바라시는지는
공격은 하지
미처
마십시오.
몰랐군요.
적어도 제 앞에서는
Oh shoot.
보시죠.
길을
The
열어.
flower can get triggered.
공격 능력 평가. 광불.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
공격 방법을 연구해야 할 것.
차포자리라. 예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
敵に対して
열어졌지.
大きな打撃を与えました。
불가.
Oh, they're long battles too.
깔끔하게 몰아.
And the flower can get truly triggered.
죽지 마라. 시도는 좋았어요.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前
Freaking heck.
불가.
Oh god, and we're getting nervous impairment right now.
치명상을 입혔군요.
적인 한 방이었어.
당신이 생각하는 것
거의
Man, I didn't think they'd include Triggy the trigger flower.
보이지 않았어?
저는 언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다.
I didn't think they'd include Trigglypuff.
効果的な攻撃でした。
At least it slowly loses
내가
health as time goes on.
흔들리던데.
저쪽에
네,
잘
완벽한
생각해보라고.
돌입이었어요.
목을 떨궈주마.
It staggered my Ishmael.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 깔끔하게 몰았군.
There's more to come. Stop.
내가 있는 곳까지 흔들리던데.
네, 완벽한 돌입이었어요.
I don't want to know that there's more to come. I don't want to feel pain like this.
말로 받아내라.
Anyone must feel this pain.
도려내.
앞으로도 그렇게만 해주세요.
오야. 길을 열어라.
Easy slap.
효율적인
Easy
대처로
slap.
개체를 꿰뚫었습니다.
There's less to come. Thank you,
기계는
Falco.
입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
I like that. I don't want to feel this pain. There's less to come.
꺾고 제철.
공격 능력 평가? 양호.
제대로 꽂혔는데.
가치 없
ドクターのように
죽어.
優れた式ですね。
But yes, I see why it probably takes a bit to get through now. There's a lot to do.
이제 깨우치시길.
후. 내가 있는 곳까지 흔들리던데.
Oh wait, we're almost
네,
done already.
완벽한 돌입이었어요.
That was quick. Than I thought it would have been.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Mission accomplished. The remaining entities have all returned to sea. Is everything okay? Or is everyone okay? It was like our last skirmish. Sea terrors that had surrounded the ship, but even before the battle came to end, and their retreat felt too orderly and deliberate to just be running away. Almost like they're making a tactical retreat. We're doing peachy, but what about the ship? Fow, is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capacity. Right, we don't want them to lose their food. Whew. So, I noticed during the battle, I might be wrong of course, but what, young Sink Lair? I think I noticed around the end of the battle, those monsters were starting to go after the manager? You're probably right, actually. I noticed at some point too during the battle, these monsters realize that it's their manager that's commanding us. Wait, they're smart! Sure, it gets easier. I sense the very same, the movements. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like them? That ain't much of a question, isn't it? They've all gone mental. I'm sure there are many reasons, but Seaborns are beings of infinite potential, so much so that it is superlative enough to properly convey the scale. As organisms that can endlessly evolve and adapt, every time they encounter a new environment or element, they transform into other Seaborns. Maybe that's their draw. That fascination may be the attitude most befitting a researcher. The transformation of the fascination into idolatry, if I may be frank, not entirely positive. So that's why Scotty was concerned. I find them pretty uncomfortable. They remind me of whales. They can adapt to learn language to communicate with us? What? Going by everything I heard, I think they sound really smart. Mayur's eyes went round as Honglu's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth, surprised. Sure was something. I heard there was a Seaborn who could talk. If non-humans could speak the language of humans, regardless of the testament to their intelligence, I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans, the other, to deceive humans. You know it. You know it. You know it. Otis. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. And Am knows too. Pessimist Otis. Hey, I'm just saying, learning about the Limbu, you kind of learn why. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to Otis' opposite observation. White nights and dark days. She whispered quietly, but as we were standing closer, we all caught a hint of joy. Pillar of light in the city, did it really? How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Mayers? Oh, ain't it obvious? We got the culprit right. Heathcliff! She's... Oh god. She's evil. Oh, she's the Seaborn that can speak. You again. You didn't get so lost in your stories that you ended up blabbing about company secrets, did you? Nay, fie, I would simply not. Poor Heathcliff, or poor Donnie, she's being blamed for it. She didn't even do anything. As Don Quixote was the subject of yet another round of scolding, Amiya stared out towards the sea, worried that sea terrors might start crawling to the surface once again before turning toward us. I wonder which two the Seaborns are? Which of the two the Seaborns are? Their sense of self is really, really faint, so I don't think they can be in either category. I think it's possible they learned human language out of instinct, power of speech to help them survive. Here's that you, Miss Mayers, are quite the expert on the subject of Seaborns. What are your thoughts so far? It's a funny, fun story with a bit of a mystery with Mayers. I'm pretty sure she's the talking Seaborn. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what one's fear of survival may lead, thereby suggesting different means of acquisition. You by chance worship the Seaborns? I don't worship Seaborns. Seaborns don't have any hopes or wishes, just a desire for survival. Miss Mayers, does that mean if a Seaborn were somehow to hope? Maybe so. Is that so? The repairs are complete. As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools. Borrowed from the village. Repairs completed. I'm guessing the repairs are done? It's funny that you avoid the Seaborn in AK. I find it funny that you avoided the Seaborn in AK, so they have followed you to Limbu Company. Did you have a departure date in mind? I would prefer if we could depart as soon as possible. We don't have a set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail late this afternoon at the earliest. That soon? As you've seen, we don't have a lot to bring with us. It is actually humorous. I ran away from Seaborn in Arknights, so they followed me to Limbu. By the way, how far out to sea did you guys need to go? We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I could see the dimensional door's light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given the light strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine its location somewhere along the coastal waters. So we can go back tonight. The first order of business is to relay this news to the villagers. Yeah, back to the village for now. I am so sorry. I keep on brushing my mic throughout this entire stream. It's hard moving around with my wrist brace too. 1:30. 1:30. Not like I need it though.
이 홍로가 무엇을 바꾸었는지를.
The Inquisitor? Irene is coming. Irene's forehead. There is something going on in the village. Yeah, I hear it too. I hear people shouting and hollering. When we returned to the village, ship's repairs complete, we're welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, that was pretty much the whole village. I just looked down at that count, what the heck? How long the cast's gonna last? Who's that over there? Inquisitor. I think we've been found. Dude, Irene looks so different. The Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was the same height as Don Quixote. The sword and lamp hanging from her waist. They made her forehead not huge! She almost looked like a fixer from the city, so the Inquisition has discovered our village. Did you think you could forever stay out of the Inquisitor's gaze, citizen? That's a naive dream. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under suspicion of charges with the membership of the Church of the Deep. Last known location, Salt flat. The other Inquisitors have informed me that you have been identified next to pirates in its fringes. From a criminal to an outlaw. A dramatic evolution of your career. But it ends here now. Still has a big forehead. Yes, but she's actually really cute now. Every citizen here will be accompanying me to the Inquisition. They have never broken a single law, nor are they outlaws of any kind. They're not like me. They've disregarded the Inquisition's authority, evaded the gaze of Iberia, and found the sodden coast to lurk in. Tell me, I'm not supposed to find that suspicious. What are you talking about? You can't just start arresting people left and right with tenuous suspicion like that. You shouldn't. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am. Is that so? You might find yourself returning to this village someday, as long as you're telling the truth, which is not an option for you, Fabius. Mayors, was Chief really a pirate? Well, yeah, as far as I know. He's been out of the game for a while, though. And even when he ran with pirates, all he ever did was share fin beast jerky to villagers. Or carry Aegirians between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayors, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Well, what now? I have but a question to ask. That Inquisitor, is she following proper legal procedures? I don't know. Pretty much. I don't know the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Kalina told us the words of Inquisitors are pretty much law out here. It's likely that she's following the proper legal procedures. Procedures are precisely what the villagers fled from, after all. Then it is decided. Otis quickly dragged me to the side and whispered in Mayor's earshot. The senators who were next to me seemed to pick up, though. Executive manager. We best immediately return the ship, take command, and sail out of it on our own. It's unwise to avoid conflict. Well, are you seriously suggesting that we just let them arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? It seems quite cut and dry to me. If this is a standard procedure with no laws broken, we are in no place to involve ourselves. Best hope is to take the ship before they impound that too. We can't do that. Even if it's standard procedure, even if they're working within the law, it's not. You stayed up to hear Mayor's story too, didn't you? You know the N-Corp Inquisitors were working within the law too. They came for the village. It was standard procedure too. If someone had stepped in then. I know what you went through, but I'd still rather not take that risk in an unfamiliar environment like this. I will try my best to figure out how to sail a ship. If I cannot, then we have to have faith. Ishmael will quickly learn the controls. I can't say you're wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I know anything about the ocean currents here, Otis. If we can get the ship going, but I can't guarantee that we'll reach the dimensional door without any trouble. Do you know anything about the sea currents in this region? Not much. But we know the coastal seas somewhat. And you can't fight the Inquisitors directly here in Iberia. Fleeing with a ship might be the better option. What do we do, Dante? Yeah, I guess it's kind of awkward for us to just take the ship and go, huh? How about we try to talk to the Inquisitor? Talk to the Inquisitor then. I think we should at least try to hear them out first. Them being the Inquisitor and the Chief both. If the discussion goes well, we might even be able to get the Inquisition's support. Like Mr. Honglu said, we should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agreed with them both. First, let's see what the Inquisitor has to say. Rabbit's right, she says. Are you certain the translation was accurate, Sinclair? You can fit 3 fingers in between her eyebrows and her pinks. Her 5 head. Her freaking lamplight head. Never lost at sea with Irene. Idiots. It's because the other options are pointless. Inquisitor's seen us. We're already under suspicion. She will doubtless try to stop us if we flee now. We'll talk first, slow regard, then attack. Pretty sure that's not what Amia meant. Well, if she's already onto us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack by running away. I was wondering what you were doing here, working in the background. Clock-shaped head. Are you from the Colombian Union? They're wearing a clock head due to reasons, but they had nothing to do with Colombian Union. What's the Colombian Union? Tick-tock. What language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Colombia or not, Clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You're not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. I'm quite certain you don't know how much about these villagers to stand between them and an inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Wait, don't just tell her that. 2 days? Alright, enough of this chicanery. Get out of my way, outsider. This attempt appears to have gone on quite the unstable ground. Please, lend us your ear for a moment, Inquisitor. I'm Amiya, leader of Rose Island. Yes, I am aware of Iberia's close border situation. I felt hope swelling within me as Amiya began with confidence. Unlike Sinclair, alas, it was short-lived. Thanks to the Inquisitor's quick retort, I couldn't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange that followed. Oh, so now we're not only dealing with dubious origin, but we have a legal entry as well. We had to because of issues demand urgency, and I've been briefed. Brazenly crossed the border, didn't you? I don't know that the urgent issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation for Iberia and its Inquisition. The High Inquisitor's handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and the chatty med doctor of yours talk out of it. Do you know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills? And for the village chief, I understand that you have the right to arrest him, and he's a fugitive as he's been sailing with pirates. However, it is inhumane treatment to arrest the rest of the villagers as well. Inhumane? Decisions well within the rights bestowed upon the Inquisition. They've lived for years next to the highly suspicious Aegir. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well to verify whether they have committed any acts of treason within the laws. This isn't going anywhere, is it? Listen, they've been surviving for years by the coast without the protection of Inquisition, and this simply cannot make sense. Oi, I think I've heard enough from you. Ain't it funny how you're blaming them for what's essentially a failure of your responsibilities? Now you roll up only to go, they shouldn't be alive, I'm arresting them all. What are you saying? These people should all be dead or something? I am. There's no other way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this. Not for this long. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath. As he lifted the bath, he began striding forward. That's it. Lass, if you ever so much as touch the tip of a single villager's hair, please, calm yourself, Heathcliff. But Honglu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hands off of me, I've had enough of her. Continuing to threaten her will cause something irrevocably bad to happen. I believe you understand that yourself, Heathcliff. What do you suggest then? We're clearly not making any progress by trying to talk this out. Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor. What do you mean that the people shouldn't survive in a place like this? I mean it literally. Even by some miracle that they actually do survive, they should at least be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitable of a calamity. But they look too healthy. The heck? You shouldn't be applauding them for managing to survive, though through as so much hardship. I'm an Inquisitor. I'm not some crazy person on a power high that goes around accosting and arresting civilians of Iberia straight to the gallows, okay? I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promise them a fair judgment, whichever way that may be, after a proper investigation. So stop with this obstruction of justice. The Inquisitor, brandishing her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking with frustration. Dante, without the full picture of circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of local political authority. I agree with Faust. I get the feeling that she isn't the kind of heartless Inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocents, like Mayor's told us. I don't think she's anything like the Inquisitors of Encorp we saw back at Cowl. You were right. We didn't have the full picture. Getting in the way of an Inquisitor, who was clearly a rather significant political entity in the area, was most likely a bad idea. It isn't the Inquisitor's job to answer your questions. Continue to instruct me, then, as the standoff was showing no signs of ending. Miss Mayers? I can answer your questions, so for now, let's do as the Inquisitor says. Mayers, who had been hiding behind us since we returned, suddenly stepped forward. Yet, what if that grandfather and the villagers? It's alright. I'm sure this has happened only because the Inquisitor doesn't know. What do you mean you'll answer the questions? About the profound silence. Mayer's response to Otis was but a single concept. I didn't quite grasp its significance, but it seemed to surprise the Inquisitor. That's what they call the calamity that destroyed Iberia. Are all the characters so far known in the Arknight lore? Yes, but I believe this is before Irene joined Rhodes Island. So, geez, they gave you a lot of rewards for doing the story. I'm glad I'm doing it. I was afraid I wouldn't have enough, but doing it now, yeah, I'm probably gonna get enough. Warning. Okay, thank God. I thought I was gonna have to fight Irene. This is during Undertides. Yeah, because this would be before Irene joined and when they were first going into Iberia. Decades ago, a great wave ravaged through Iberia. It wasn't long before seaborns, carried by the waves, diminished Iberia's brilliant civilization to this. The waves of profound silence must have reduced the village to its current state as well. Is there any reason it's called Profound Silence? Doesn't seem to be the most appropriate moniker for a calamity like that. It's because the sea went dead, right, but silent before the waves came. The silence that claimed the ships out at sea, then the cities of Iberia, then the Iberians. No one could say a word in the face of ineffable calamity. What are you? No average Iberian citizen should be privy to that information, and the Church of the Deep is really capitalizing the pandemonium that followed the profound silence. They pretend to be Aegir from the sea, delude the citizenry of Iberia, and are sowing chaos in her hands. In her lands, excuse me, not hands. So that's why they're arresting Aegir left and right. I can see the thought process, but so it's understandable why the Inquisitor would want to arrest us. Dante, this isn't good. Sharing what seems to be like a taboo-like thing for the Inquisition. Inquisitor wordlessly stayed at Mare's. Her eyes are filled with traces of anger and confusion, but she's afraid. There was face in her fear of threat. Nothing the fear of terrified, no, it's the fear of someone who's confronted with something they must destroy. The High Inquisitor once told me that, should I come across an Aegir who knows too much, there's a sliver of a chance that they may be assistants to Iberia. Cease, thou art threatening an innocent with brandishing their firearm. They are most seduced by the allure of the sea. Thus, they are— oh my god, we are fighting her. This is the first wall. Get out of my way, outsider. Final warning. Run! Quick on the uptake, Rodius slung Mayers over his shoulder and ran past the villagers, while the sinners scattered in all directions. The Inquisitor draws her firearm, and in the midst of action, Don Quixote rushed the Inquisitor. Don Quixote, thou shalt go no further. A fixer of justice shan't abide as you persecute them. Forsooth, 'tis that I'm getting goosebumps. In that moment of crisis, seconds before they could— Monster. A large obsidian crystallization in the shape of a monster burst forth between the two of them. Who is it this time? That's enough meaningless bickering. Dr. Kalina! Do you know her? Yes, she's Dr. Kalina, Rhodes Island Medical's department. Ah, doctor, behind you! Shoot first, then talk later, is it? The negotiations are over. From this moment onward, Rhodes Island is now operating within legal capacity on Iberian territory under the Inquisition's authority. The Inquisitor fired a blast, but the monster summoned by Couchsit managed to deflect it. The cannonball thrown from the weapon punched clean through the wall of the building we stayed the night through. That was enough to instantly freeze the sinners on spot. That penetrated the building. Though their walls may be weaker than the head's standard for what counts, punched through so many is— precise point it makes. Now's not the time to be standing around and press. It's a violation of the taboo to have that much penetrative power in a firearm. We're not in the city, don't lose your heads over it. Taboos don't apply here. My head knows what to be true, yet my heart finds it difficult to be still. That is enough discussion for now. It is advisable that we observe and grasp the situation instead of deliberating on the taboo of jurisdiction. That does not go this far. Yeah, so the situation's gotten slightly better, right? She's Amia's friend, she's our ally. Besides, she's got some super powerful looking prosthetic looking gear too. Is that what you think? I apologize for the disappointment, but I am not on anyone's side. In other words, your particular denomination ally may not be entirely correct. However, if I am to define my allegiance, let me inform you, The closest label would be that I am Inquisitor Irene's ally. Dr. Kalina. Amiya, outsiders. As much as I'd like to deny it, Inquisitor's suspicions are true. While it can be said that the process that which she reached the conclusion was unfair, the conclusion itself is, without a doubt, correct. They're actually connected to the Church of the Deep? That is one way to put it. To be more precise, they aren't connected to the Church of the Deep. They are the Church of the Deep. Perhaps the village itself is a dilapidated church of their congregation. Our village? A church? Just look at the buildings. Where do we even congregate? Your thoughts, Faust? There are not many resources which we may analyze a decision. However, the fact that Amiya's colleagues has made the same argument that the Inquisitor brings, the accused defense into question. Yet I cannot hardly believe young Mayers is lying to us. Hold on. We've been chatting plenty with the Inquisitor or whatever. How do we know you're not aligned with them the whole time? I see. You really are all entirely in the dark. As expected outcome, given that you may be in a place far from the dimensional door. As fortune should have it, excuse me, there is no need for you to know it anyway. Truth is truth unchanging, without the acceptance from an errant group of outsiders. Besides, soon. I'm sorry, it seems we've mired you in this trouble. Ah, say no such thing. We shall abide by it as one's injustice is perpetuated before our eyes. The village has already been identified by the Inquisition, and the Inquisition has even brought an ally. Seems unlikely that words will resolve this. But we promise you, we will take responsibility for what we've done. We have benefited far too much from your warmth and kindness. With a benevolent look to Polda, and immediately knew what Kaltsa was about to say. Oh! Blimey! We are now departing for the sea, but as we cannot bring ourselves to leave you here, I must ask you join us for the journey. Wait, what is this? What are you doing? Stop! The unanticipated or perhaps rising dread ambush did not end there. Dang it, the Inquisitor was right? Oh. The villagers began shanking the sinners with weapons concealed in the clothes, and seemed they were coming for me as well. Ah, Amiya, on your left! Amiya materialized, a ribbon-like apparition, parrying the dagger, but another villager rushed in, charging. Someone flung them away. Didn't mean to be this late. Scotty, let me catch you up to speed. I know the situation. The fishy smell was what I went to investigate earlier. What about the sinners? Unlike Amiya, who survived, the sinners weren't doing too well. At least we had a silver lining. The Inquisitor and Kaltsit, his quick understanding of the situation and subsequent retaliation, led the villagers away. Wow, I didn't notice any hostility. What an odd thing to say. Why would we hold animosity? Why would we intend to kill you? We are not trying to hurt you. We're trying to give you a oh. Until we were obstructed. Apologize for unfamiliarity which caused you trouble, Inquisitor. I won't make a big stink of what happened. What's truly unforgivable is the heretics tried to take advantage of ignorance of outsiders to flee the Inquisition. And even if you are outsiders, any lives lost on Iberian soil are my responsibility. It's my fault. I'm sorry it came to this. Wait, lives lost? We're alive, you know. We can shake off a stab wound like it. This is most unfortunate, outsider. Huh? What? Your friends are going to die or turn into seaborns. Daggers they stab them with are laced with the flesh of sea terrors. Once that happens, most die and the survivors become overwritten by their cells, becoming nothing more than a sea monster. Oh, that's not a very big deal. Everyone was acting like that for the sinners, but hey, I should be able to turn the clock. It's not that bad. My only concern was what would happen if I tried to bring them back after they're fully seaborn. The golden bow helped with the whale's palification effects, but I had no idea what it would interact with seaborn transformations. We should just kill them before they turn. I know this must be very hard for you, but for what? Sorry to bother you, but can you kill my friends? And preferably in the least painful way? Oh, sorry, was the last part too much to ask? Oh, don't give up on the ready. If we bring them to Los Island, we might be able to help them. How should I explain this? Guys, can you? Dante, I know what you mean, but I just can't right now. My strength has rapidly deteriorated. It's kind of tingly too, like a paralytic cocktail. Just trust me this one time. I can assure you that I'm not giving up on them. But, Mia, you understand the outsider speech. Yes, it's just they're making a pretty difficult request. Guys, I want to see! They just want me to kill their friends before they transform. Okay. And before I knew that, Scotty decapitated the sinners, none of whom resisted. Amiya seemed to have been taken aback. What are you doing? Scotty? Don't let this spook you. This is just how we roll. The clock turns. The decapitated heads creep towards the headless torso, connecting with threads of blood. The sensation is that of reversal. Is this rewinding, going back in time, or are we defining the concept itself? The pain is multifold, then the sensation of straightforward. The pain is in the heart. As the current of death reverses, I sense a deep, crushing isolation. The wounds are disappearing. Resurrection. Metempsychosis or time reversal. Puzzling. No hesitation. Oh, yay! Puzzling. I have no knowledge which would interpret this technology. Cost seems to be the pain transferred to the one who rewinds. But that seems too small a price for great power. Such though the discussion of this being power could be explored later. I couldn't stop shaking. All my limbs were trembling with icy solitude. So I took a moment to collect myself and order the sinners. I don't know what they were thinking, but we should be able to find them once we take them down. You dare deceive the executive manager and try to take their life? Prepare thyself, for this shall be the— oh my god! I love the art for them! Look at Don Quixote all happy. Rudia is like, ah, another day, another dollar. Oda is and yeah, we can't just let this slide, you know. How unfortunate. I had high hopes for you all to become fine bloodkins. Scotty is truly head empty, no thoughts. Okay.
저희를 헤아릴 수 없다.
Here I thought we would fight Forehead, but I guess we're fighting Fabio.
이 앞에 뱀으로 꿰뚫어라. 내가
괜찮은 공격이네요.
Or Fabuloso, excuse me.
해충들을 도려내라. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Oh shoot!
길을 열어라.
This is the battle theme for Stoltivera Navi, I believe.
참고로 기계는 입에 달린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Stoltivera Navi! Man, we're winning the clashes. No, it's not Stoltivera Navi? Which one is this one then? I do love how Scotty was just like, yeah, okay.
効果的な攻撃でした。
No problem. Collab exclusive? It sounded like Stoltifera Navi.
공격 능력 평가. 야호.
어우, 제대로 꽂혔는데.
저대로 돌려보낼 생각은 아니시죠? 확실히 처리해야 합니다.
헤어내리.
They got the theme nailed down, that's for sure. They're really good at imitating other games' music, like in the first April Fools.
고작 이 정도 탕류에
You know, I wish I did the first April Fools, but I never did. I wasn't playing at the time.
평소에도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까?
Freaking Tendril Boy. We had the AK April Fools back then. What are the chances of Blue Archive since they did it in the second April Fools? You know, I don't know. Shinroe. Ow. Frick. I need more EINGO resources.
직원의 상태가 나빠 보이는군요. 흔히 이걸 나사 빠진 상태라고
Kalina,
표현하잖아요.
manifest
방금
yourself.
건 실없는 농담이 아닌 긴장 완화를 위한 조력이었습니다.
아득한 여정. 멈추지 않는 시대에서
Monster.
희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
적에게 치명상을 입혔군요. 관리자님은 당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다.
I can't believe she won that. What do you think of the collab and new characters? Dude, I am so happy. They did justice to the collab. They really went all out. This is a well-deserved collaboration. The AK Limbu collab is beautiful. And I absolutely love how well they did with interpreting or basically mixing the two worlds. KJH is a whale in AK. He is? I didn't know that about him. I didn't know that our beloved director was a whale. Was a white whale. Guys, is this wall number 1? Or is this wall, have I not reached wall number 1 yet?
지긋지긋한 전투가 드디어 하나 끝났네요.
I think the wall was the other guy. The other guy? This collab's great too. Too bad it's gone forever unless AK wants to do it again. How familiar am I with AK Ending 2? Not super familiar. IS 3-2. Yeah, not super familiar. This is like a mini boss. I have not reached the first wall yet. Okay. Wait,
생체 반응이 끊어진 개체의 기록이 감지됩니다.
did one of my people just run away?
조금 더 쾌활한 성격이었다면 당신과
I
하이파이브
did not
같은
know
걸
that happens.
시도해보았을지도 모르겠네요.
혈염도 바로
Chi-Chun-ish has the ability to retreat your units.
신이 목을 떨궈주마.
Shows how much I know about Chi-Chun Ishmael. Chi-Chun Mail. Do I not read my units' passives? No. I never read. Bold of you to assume that about me, Shiroe.
판도는 유리한.
And he's dead.
그만하면 뒤집어지는.
어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
그래서 어쩌라는 거지? 경계. 그걸 꼭 말로 해야 하나? 이제 끝내지.
Easy, old man, defeated. Wait, I think they're heading to... He's running himself into the dead end. Are you seeking refuge at sea? Wait, that's where the ship is. They're trying to board the Masas. But we never told them the ship's repaired, so how? The whole village is on it. It ain't a surprise they'd send someone to spy on us, so even that they get a village. Vessel Masas? Vessel Rebellion de las Masas. Ships moored at the port in the direction. Wait, it can't be! Irene, who was preoccupied with battling Church of the Deep, quickly gave chase, but Fabian and the villagers were already aboard the repaired ship, slowly departing the harbor, with this horde of sea terrors between us and them. How can a vessel that size become operational this fast? The exterior and name, it must have been constructed during the golden age of Iberia, but how are we supposed to chase that? What if we built a raft and rowed after them? Mate, come on. Sea's full of terrors. It won't get very far before it sinks. You see something, Amelia? You keep looking in that direction. Oh. The vessel Moss has disappeared in the mist, and the village was empty, with nary a sign of anyone, as the getaway had all been premeditated, leaving only Mayers. Dang. He just ditched his granddaughter. Do not worry, granddaughter. Your life is not important.
핏물진 길일 뿐이지만
Dearest daughter de la Grande.
홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지.
But let's be real, the interval is long enough for one stream is already unlikely.
무얼 바꿔?
I've heard like at this point, so what's gonna happen is in the event I can't finish it in one go, I will probably do the rest on my own, read the rest, and I will talk to you guys about it in the next Limbus stream, because I probably won't be able to get through 8 hours is the average. Yeah, I'll probably only be able to get through most of the story and then get stuck on the boss. Dang it, can't we just take a ship and go after it? The next Limbus stream is probably Bakgak W Corp repeat. Yes. First of all is the 9th mission. It's a research vessel, it can't possibly be that fast. This will be difficult. Even if it is a research vessel, I'm sure it was constructed during the Golden Age. No average ship can keep up with that. Which is a problem because I doubt we have any ship that can travel at the same speed. We only have a few small vessels left, which are all anchored too far from this location to be feasible. Do we have any recourse? No, not unless we can identify the exact location. Which is the real problem. We can find ourselves to a ship to go after them. Most Eye of Iberia, the lighthouses, were lost during the profound silence. Wait, when you say most, do you know something? There's something left? There's Gran Faro, but the lighthouse cannot be used at this moment. There's another lighthouse you can use. Really? You really are gonna give one of the villagers the benefit of the doubt? Yet young Scotty had already confirmed her to be safe. All I confirmed is whether she's seaborn or not. Can't know if she's a cultist. Tis true, yet once we saw that Mayers was left on her own, we decided to have her accompany us, all within Irene's eyeshot. They make Prince Firefist Gregor look like a Giga Chad in Prince Salt's ID. But Irene still seemed to harbor a bit of suspicion. The problem with Aegir is that she simply knows too much. Where could she have possibly gained access to this information? See, she can't even answer that question. But let's think about it this way. What if we ask her what we don't know? The location of the lighthouse, for example. They're ticking rapidly, what they say. Dante says that we should approach it and ask what we don't know, like the location. Seems like a reasonable suggestion to me. Does the Inquisitor have an alternate solution to this conundrum? No, but let's hear it. I won't interrogate you about how you have access to things that even us Inquisitors don't know. At least not right now. Terra Muerto. Dead Lighthouse. That's her village name. Somewhere a little ways off the coastline, there's an intact Eye of Iberia on the sea. It was destroyed almost during the profound silence swept through. Off the coastline? Is it not connected to the land? I think it used to be, until it sank. We should be able to procure ourselves enough wood and material from the village to build a raft. Is it near enough for us to build a raft to the means of access? Weather's not great today, but it should do. It's not very far from the coast. Even you're gonna trust Aegir? I don't see why I shouldn't. I understand that Iberia's mistrust of Aegir is quite profound, yet such sentiment is hollow to the rest of us. Inquisitor Irene, what did you feel when you saw the Rhodes Island operator? If you're talking about Countess, nothing in particular, other than the slight annoyance that she accused me of being inhumane. So you didn't harbor any hostility nor disgust. Not that you would have any sense of sympathy or empathy. I thought I have no history of feelings for or against the Aegir. Such must be the same for the outsiders. What's she on about? She's conveying that, in matters in regards to mayors, our opinion are more subjective than Irene's. Finding the vessel Fabius Commandeer will be a benefit to all. Limbus Company will be given an opportunity to return the city via the dimensional door, while Rhodes Island will have a chance to study it at closer proximity. And then the Inquisition shall gain possession of a vessel in which the technology from the Iberian Golden Age is contained. What? You're going to just hand that over to the Inquisition? Why should we covet that which was once Iberia's? While there are aspects of the vessel that draw interest, I already have a state-of-the-art masterpiece known as Mephistopheles. As long as that can be guaranteed, I see no reason to refuse. Irene eventually agreed to put her trust in Mayors. We are in luck, Executive Manager. It is quite fortunate that our interests aligned exactly with that of the first strangers we encountered in a strange land. Lucky is right. Imagine if we were back in the city. It would have taken them like 3-4 free distortion hunts for us to come to this agreement. Sorry about having to saddle you with this, Mayors. Please lead us to the lighthouse. Okay, happily. So when you said almost destroyed, how almost destroyed is it? I heard that the light faded from the lighthouse some time ago, but the shape still stands. At least it was when we saw it a few months ago. The lighthouse is inoperable. We're going to need an expert technician to get it back in order. The technology it's based on is completely divorced from the popular application of originium. You needn't worry about that. Here, we have an engineer and a researcher who are geniuses even among the city. So, we should be able to manage most mechanical failures. Today is just revelation after revelation, huh? I can vouch for Limbus company skills. I can also work on simpler tasks. I've learned a thing or two about helping out groups. Well, we should all go to the lighthouse together. No, I'll be leaving for the group for a moment. Amiya will accompany you instead. Well, after all that, you're just going to go off on your own? Yes, to join the Docta. It is imperative for the successful execution of this mission. Of course, that hinges on Amiya and Scotty remaining behind the rest of you. Thus, I will leave it to you to take the rest to the Eye of Iberia and lighthouse back. Wait, what do you mean take back the lighthouse? Is there someone or something out there taken over on the lighthouse on the Eye of Iberia? A likely supposition. Amiya, what did the manager of Limbus company say? They're asking if the lighthouse had been taken over by something. Not bad intuition. Yes, there's a high likelihood that the structure's been overrun. I don't know about overrun, but I've encountered them a few times when we approach them closely. Normally, this is hardly enough personnel to attempt a raid on the lighthouse, but answer me, are there any limitations to arrival? There are no restrictions as long as Dante survives. However, do know that the battle efficiency depreciates with prolonged battle due to mounting mental stress. No need to change the plan then. Amiya, use this communicator to alert me as soon as you identify the coordinates of the lighthouse. If luck would have it, we should be able to reduce the time it takes to complete the mission. Okay, as long as you're not taking everyone with you. If it's just her leaving, then go ahead. I think we should be fine too. Then let us convince Las Vesos Mas's retrieval. It's done. Let's go. What? Why are you looking at us like that? Is something bothering you? Must you ask? Just look at how proactive and quick she is to jump to action. Certainly lives up to the image of employee working for a large corporation. Thanks, Aldous, for that charitable review, I guess. Thanks to Scotty, who had already finished the first step of the plan. We were able to move on to step 2 immediately. Okay, guys. As much as I want to keep reading this with y'all, I want to see what the battles, the boss battle looks like and try to do that with you guys. And all that stuff. So let me double check that I have a theater for this one. 2 theater. Okay. So yes. What I will do is I will probably read through episode 11 through 19 on my own. But I want to check out the boss at least while you guys are with me. So this is first wall. 가리자, 로진한테.
책임은 모두 내가 진다.
의뢰로군.
I really need a better ID for some of these people. I have some really old IDs for some of them. I feel like Mr. Salt really needs a good ID soon. Hope you bring healing egos. I do have several. We're gonna take Capo Salt. I do have Kalina ego. I do have... Blind Obsesh. Will you encourage your playthrough if you can't finish it? I will probably just enjoy it on my own. That way I can rest and all that stuff. But I want to at least check out the boss with you guys and see how hard it really is. So I'm gonna do something that I never ever wanted to do for Limbus Company. It hurts! It hurts! Oh god, I'm wounded right now.
저희를 헤아릴 것 없이 그 용도를 고민하는 것이 장제죠.
내가 맞서. 내가
Why are they rolling so high?
이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
Didn't you do that first time you streamed? Yes, Shiroe. And it hurt the first... Well, it didn't hurt the first time, but... It hurts this time. It hurts too much for me.
여기까지 다 울리지
It
않았어?
wounds me, you guys. Then your second was all you reading? Yes. It hurts me. I'm wounded.
공격 능력
I'm bleeding.
평가? 양호.
제대로 꽂혔는데.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
옳다.
무용하군요.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました。
흑수묘.
시비수에게
찐박제춤.
명하다. 이 앞에 숨쉬는 자.
LCPC11 was the first wall? I see.
마음 놓고 열어젖히고 바람 불어오는 대로
차포잡이라.
짓밟아라.
예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
How the Roomba works? The Roomba? This might be new to me. Shinjoe.
틈을 끊어. 효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는
깔끔하게
입에 발린
물었군.
말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
흑수묘. 뒷박제 준비.
Honestly though, I thought
적에게 치명성이 있었다면
honestly I wasn't even gonna do this one
당신이
in
생각하는
time
것보다
because I was injured during the time. So I'm glad I was able to space out a little bit of time to do this story.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Small hands of the Saint Roomba. Oh wait, the Roomba's in this one too?
개체에게 일격을 가하는데 성공했습니다. 샴페인을 가져오기엔 너무 이른 타이밍이긴 하겠지만 이 전투가 성공적으로 끝나면 모두의 희생을 기리며 축배를 드는 것도
시간 끌 것
나쁘지
없이
않겠죠.
모조리 치워버리죠.
I didn't realize Hand of the Saint was here as well.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
We have an annoying nether branch floor gimmick here too. Oh my god.
가치 없군.
Almighty Roomber.
시간 끌 것 없이
발이에게 해줄
모조리
이야기가
치워버리죠.
또 늘었군요.
Mighty Almighty Roomba.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요.
Alright guys, do catch me up a little bit. There is some questions I'm gonna ask and I'm okay with learning a little bit about this. Do Dante and Docta talk?
저 해충들을 도려내라.
I really need to know this. Do Dante and Docta finally talk?
効果的な攻撃でした。
Yes! Which node do Dante and Docta talk? The last one before we leave?
전술의 승리네요.
Oh, they don't talk normally. Amiya has to translate for Docta or for Dante.
지휘관이었던 거 아니야?
Because listen, when protagonists meet, the world ends.
죽지 마라.
Is the little girl some freaky deaky weaky weirdo?
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
At the dungeon? Oh my god, wait, there's a mirror dungeon for this one? Oh,
괜찮은 공격이네요. 앞으로도 그렇게만 해주세요. 여관에 가면 또 한참을 떠.
시간 끌 것 없이
발이에게
모조리
해줄
치워버리죠.
이야기가 또 늘었군요.
I'd say Dante and Docta talk, but they don't converse much. That stinks. I was hoping for a very long conversation because they're both protagonists and MCs of the world.
아직 죽지
さあのように
바람 불어오는 대로 짓밟아라.
So
내가
Oh
있는
my
곳까지
god, how many of them are here?
네.
So when does my uncle Minor show up?
끝내지.
Because currently we're missing Ling and Uncle Minor unless they don't.
목을 떨궈주마.
The Doctor is kind of a lot more pragmatic than people expected, I think.
가치 없군. 죽어.
He doesn't. None. 오래와.
시도는 좋았어요.
하나 넘고 셋 넘고 무수히 넘고 얼마든지 꺾어 제쳐라.
適した攻撃でなくとも
なんでだよ。
最善の選択だったはずです。
내 앞을 달리시.
Does Honglu say Coco Dayo at any point?
방금의 물리적인 공격은 적절하지 못했습니다.
겹겹의 중문.
개체의 정보까지
뚫어보이겠어.
일일이 읽어드리는 기능을 바라시는지는 미처 몰랐군요.
No, he never says Coco Dayo. I guess I don't have to. Oh, right. And because Honglu never says Coco Dayo, I guess I'm not doing my bojing, or not my bojing, my biscuits thing.
물 넘고
If y'all didn't know, I promised that if there was going to, if Honglu at any point said Coco Dayo in the collaboration, whether it be an ego or something else, I would eat a whole box of Popeye's biscuits
敵
without
は
water.
壁を覆っています。
Oh shoot, I see the nether sea slowly creeping forward.
일기당천.
So you have to attack the hand of the saint.
지 목을 떨궈주마. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Oh yes, because Honglu never says Coco Dayo, I'm safe. Goku and Virginia show up and take on
길을 남겼군.
500 Seaborns each.
빗물진
Oh
길을
yes, yes, I remember when Goku and Virginia were in this company. I remember that. That was quite an interesting time for Goku and Virginia.
무얼 바꾸었는지를.
The lunacy. Oh my gosh. The 108,000 lunacy that I have. I guess you could say this is pure lunacy. Oh my god, man. I really am crazy. QPM releasing a full JP dub. It is funny to have Amiya speaking JP while the rest are KR. They released a full JP dub of Ruina. Oh shoot, right, I needed to do that. That was something that I wanted to do.
이번 공격은 꽤 효과적일 것 같아요.
It's okay, that will be used for Walpiggy. Yeah, it'll be used for me to catch up on Walpiggy stuff that I've missed.
길을 열어라.
Someone please set a reminder for me to do the JP
당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을
JP
가지고 있다.
Library of Rona.
제가 늘 말씀드렸죠. 저는 언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다.
숨통 끊기. 차포잡이라. 예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
Fools, I am stronger than you. Better than you.
치명적인 한 방이었어.
거의 진압되겠는걸요?
맞아. 여기까지 다 울리지 않았어?
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리죠.
As written.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
God, the only problem with playing Ruina on Switch though is that it would take forever because you have to farm pages versus having the Steam things that kind of help you farm pages. Oh my god. Faust messed up there. Moused.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나.
Are the seaborn from the sea or born from microbes? My Limbu people, do you know?
大きな打撃を与えました。
How are seaborn created?
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 평소에도 이런 애는 얼마나 좋습니까?
She won that with pure tails. That was sad.
능력 평가? 양호.
어우, 제대로
약점을 잘
꽂혔는데.
누리셨습니다. 이제 해결사의 전투포 괜찮은 공격이네요. 앞으로도 그렇게만 해주세요.
후, 내가 있는 곳까지 흔들리던데.
네, 완벽한 돌입이었어요.
일기당천.
Did Hamburg encounter the first wall? Not yet, Sage. We're about to then. Excuse
고작
me.
이 정도
This is
탕류의
around the time.
허덕이나.
This is around the time where I take my nap to finally rest up. So this is really long for me. I'm doing it. I'm going back to my old streaming duration or streaming durability. No, I could never.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
Alita operator negimandoides.
불가 위야. 막아내지 못하리.
No, no frenzy for you. I hate those Reapers in both AK and Limbu. Don't worry, they hate us too.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
여관에 가면
Might catch me as a lurker.
바리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
Maybe they split themselves like starfish. Do starfish split themselves open? Patrick?
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
불쌍하게 울부짖는군.
Lives in a pineapple under the sea, SpongeBob Square.
빨리 봐라.
Absorbent and yellow and colorful is he, SpongeBob SquarePants. If nautical nonsense be something you wish, SpongeBob SquarePants. Jump on the deck and flop like a fish, SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SquarePants.
여관에 가면 또
SpongeBob
한참을
SquarePants. SpongeBob
바리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
SquarePants.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
Starfish don't split themselves, but they can regenerate into a full starfish from being split. So if you took a starfish and cut it in half, it would regenerate. Insane. I feel like this is getting harder slowly.
자, 맛볼 시간이다.
Ow.
개체에게 일격을 가하는데 성공했습니다. 샴페인을 가져오기엔 너무 이른 타이밍이긴 하겠지만 이 전투가 성공적으로 끝나면 모두의 희생을 드리며 축배를 드는 것도 나쁘지 않겠죠.
이제
効果的な攻撃でした。
시도는 좋았어요.
마음 놓고 열어젖히고.
Oh my
직원
god,
중 하나가 큰
ow.
피해를 입었군요. 그러나 아시다시피 우리는 앞으로
Attack the
나아가기만
Roomba.
돌이킬 수 없어진 것은 눈길을 주지 않아도 된다.
Okay, we thankfully Solemn Lemon attacked the Roomba, so we're good.
전술의 승리네요.
Oh my god, I just lost 3 people about.
지휘관이었던 거
적을
아니야?
물어뜯고 너의 쓸모를 보여라.
시간 끌 것 없이
혈압도 바로.
모조리 지워버리죠.
모아쳐라.
그걸
Uh-oh, he triggered one. Put your first unit on the Roomba to have the enemy remove the offense. Oh, is that why they've been hitting so hard? We have an offense up buff on them?
아득한 야정. 멈추지
How
않을
did we
수
get
있어.
into the birth of like
희망
fish?
공간을 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길. 효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 달린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
혈압도 바로. 모아쳐라.
I don't want to remember Stoltifer Navi.
또 한참을 떠드시겠네.
Saggy.
바리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
Like I don't want to remember the trauma I felt through Stoltifer Navi. I don't. Why not? Lapland Altar makes that event a piece of cake. I'm sure she does. Doesn't mean I want to do
味方
it.
が優勢です。今こそ です。
Me enjoying the P enter gameplay while playing other game Lamau.
탕류의 허덕이나.
Gonna do a polling stream for Lemon and Exia Alter?
하나 넘고 둘 넘고.
No, I don't think I'll get Lemon and Exia Alter. I'm just gonna do a couple of tickets after my free summons are up to get rid of the pity, and I'll see what I get. If I get Exia Alter, that'll be awesome. If I don't, that's okay.
다리에게 해줄 이야기가 또
키울 수도
늘었군요.
없겠구나.
Pure. When Honglu defeats an enemy through pure just aura.
또 한 줄 길을 담.
He just stood there and won.
핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지. 이 홍루가 무엇을 받고 왔는지를.
Here it is. The very first wall, apparently.
만곡된 직선을 직선으로 질주하겠소.
I pulled and got X2 not too long ago. Now I can save for the upcoming collab. When is that collab gonna be here, by the way, Saggy? Is it coming soon, or is it still gonna take like a year? Oh, frick! It's him. The Knight.
아는 것을 모른 채 할 수는
The
없어.
last kite.
행색이 이상하나 그럼에도 이상이요.
빈박질 춤.
내가 뱀으로 꿰뚫어라.
내가
저 행수들을 도려내라.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
사여, 길을 열어라.
適した攻撃でなくとも最善の選択だったはずです。
Plenty of time to save for Sakiko, the new best Lord Guard. 6 months?
숨통 끊기.
Ow.
무상한 목숨. 불끝에 지원할 뻔.
차!
もっと効果的な方法が。
All resistances change to normal. Lose 1 speed for every cold stack. I might have to Durante this. Superbina.
일기당천.
시비수에게 명한다. 이 앞에 숨지는 자.
Okay, chat. Tie Knight or one hand Boogler, who wins?
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
Oh, frick. we go. Meltdown!
아득한 여정.
One super
멈추지
Bina.
않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
I will say Super Bina is really helping out here. Oh. He just froze my sinners. Bro.
이딴 일에
リンバ
흡수의
スカンパニ
시간을
ーの皆さん
허비했네.
とご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠.
Great stuff.
모든 결과들은
This fight hard counters Heisho teams. I think I'm realizing that a little too late.
적을
囚人の
물어뜯고
皆さんの
너의
正体に
쓸모를 보여라.
何か変化が。
일기당천.
혈염도 바로.
Well, I probably should have taken my Sanchote team, my Blood Fiend, La Munchie Land.
혈염도 바로. 모아쳐라.
Limbus カンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
Neutral. Offset.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리
아.
치워버리죠.
I did not set up tears. I can't believe you're unironically using Sodaloo. Sodaloo's good.
기꺼이 죄를 받아들인.
I won with a 1 health of Lord Hong Yuan. 1 health Lord of Hong Yuan Lu. Holy frick!
무슨 술술해.
Oh. This is not good. I can't super Bina again.
일기당천.
Magical girl, Hong Lu.
만선이에요.
Oh.
잠깐만 기다려라.
돈이 될 때까진 이 천장에 남고 싶었는데. 모험하고
과연
슈진가死亡どうすれば。
일기당천.
Bro.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
The Odyssey had a purpose. To win the clash.
꿰뚫려라. 무상한 목숨. 불끈의 지원일 뿐.
Tears of tarnished blood.
상념으로 맑은 하늘 가리고 이 한 몸 바쳐 땅으로 모든 피 쏟아내리리. 피가 아무리 탁해졌다 한들 적을 물어뜯고 너의 쓸모를 보여라.
Trigger it again.
불가 위약. 막아내지 못.
Oh my god, his sanity's too high.
이 몸을 온당히 벌하심에 기꺼이 죄를 받아들이나이다.
상수가 술술을.
敵が優勢です。状況を今一度把握し直さなければ。
헤어내리.
말로 받아내라. 저 해충들을 도려내.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐.
Come on, just do enough damage to stagger him.
길을 열어라.
We're so close. Oh my god.
적질렀나? 내 걸음이 빨라. 일찍 도착했어.
적을
囚人が退
물어뜯고
却でき
너의
ませんでした
쓸모를 보여라.
ダンテさんには囚人を蘇生できる能力がありましたよね
좋아.
There we go.
지 목을 떨궈주마.
Too bad you get frozen after you attack him.
전탄격발.
Good deal.
優れた式ですね味方が優勢です今こそ勝機をつかむ時です
사격 개시.
차!
効果的な攻撃でした味方が優勢です
흑수미
今こそ勝機を
뒷박질
つか
춤
む時です
Wait. Oh my god.
タンテさんなんだかただならぬ気配を感じます
진짜 즐거운 시간이었는데.
Oh my god.
자, 됐냐? 저격수한테 이런 거 시키지 좀 마라.
회의를 실패 비용.
囚人が退却できませんで
네
した
목숨은 건드리지 않겠다.
タンテさんには囚人を蘇生できる能力がありましたよね
막아내지 못하리.
한 점만 노린다.
Having fun? No.
바로 해주시죠.
아직 끝난 게 아니야.
囚人の皆さんならきっとできます
Okay, this might be a
皆さんのことを
loss.
信じています
Wait, is his Tears of Tarnished Thorns still working?
지나온 길을 생각하면
なんだ
どんなに辛い任務でも皆さんにはタンテさんがいらっしゃるので
내가
きっとやり遂げられます
걸어야만 하는 예전부터 한 번에 되는 일이 없었지.
Okay.
대관원을 나선 이후부터 언제나 줄곧. 그러니 될 때까지 피를 흘리고 치고 박으면 그만이다. 나의 도끼는 차고 넘치니까.
You know what? Let's see how he likes my singing team.
주군께서 모이를 뿌리셨으니
책임은 모두 내가 진다.
이제 좀 일다운 걸 시키나? 다들 연장 챙기죠.
죽은 의뢰로
자,
책임은
의로움을 세우기 위해서라면 의로움을 세우기 위해서라면
It might be a good idea for me to take fluid sac.
다들 연장
죽은
책임은
자,
의뢰로군.
라만 차렌드를
Alright, one last try.
자,
敵
봤지?
の調子が悪くなっ
난
ているみたい
믿어주면
です。
배신하지 않아.
Hey, cool dog, how are you? Did you enjoy the collab?
정확하게.
Sink him.
왜 안에 갇혀 죽어라.
여기가
Nightmare Hunter.
Limbus カンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
겁나를
Hey, Jack Narek, I'm doing good. How are you? We're just trying to complete this very hard mission. Sword of Sharpened Tears. Pure damage. It's synced. You're nice. Celebration for the departed.
찢어 발겨주마.
Doing okay too over here? Good, good.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
어두운 무지를 열어줬지.
Fluid snack. The knight is giving her a beating. He is. Oh, frick. And he stunk again. Oh.
아니, 고작 여기서 쓰러진다면 그놈이 날 얼마나 비웃겠나.
자, 봤지?
Oh, that's what you're supposed to do.
배신하지 않아.
검나를 내게 바쳐주지.
Goodbye now. A Yi song inside of you.
틈을 끊어.
야! 찢어 발겨주마.
굳게 닫힌 지성에
목을 내놓고 있도록.
정리하겠습니다. 불결한 것.
As mistress commands. Unveil. And here it is, phase 2. We did a lot better when we didn't use the mouse squad.
어두운 무지를 열어줬지라.
계속해봐라. 이 폭풍이 잦아들 때까지.
차라리 아무것도 남지 마라.
適した攻撃でなくとも最善の選択だったはずです。
지금까지 배워왔던 것들과 비교하면 쉬웠어.
자, 봤지? 난 믿어주면
Uh-oh, she just distorted.
배신하지 않아.
어두운 무지를 열어줬지라.
Is he like the nameless kite from what game? Brute forcing this with rupture? I was on my last 6 sinners in the end. Wait, did I get lucky and she only distorted to hit the nameless? Nope. She hit someone else. She killed Gregor.
그 사람을 볼 수 있는 건가?
구회 안에 갇혀 죽어라.
Oh my god. Okay, sinking does work on him though. From Elder Scroll. I don't think so.
이 땅과 만인에게 손끝이라도 대려는 자가 있다면
He's from Arknights. Well, I don't actually know how strong the nameless knight is. In Arknights, the last knight is a pain in the butthole to deal with. Like a gigantic pain in the booty. And he's dead. Ugh, pain. That fight was a pain. And so was... Wait, Rudia already corroded.
나도. 그러고 보니까 그 환상체 이제 가호를 내려준 아이가 없어졌지. 다시 관리를 맡겨주실까?
Honestly, sinking was a godsend there. Oh my sweet goodness.
준비한 대로만 하면.
If it was not for sinking, I would have lost that. It hurts. It hurts to keep going. He's here, he's... Ah.
너의 분위기 완전 좋다. 무전기 너머로도 느껴져.
시간 끌 것 없이
이번 공격은 꽤 효과적일 것 같아요.
치워버리죠.
내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
Doctor. Like I said, I want to get to the boss. I want to see what the boss is like, and then I'm going to read the rest on my own.
무상한 목숨. 불끈을 지원할 뿐.
공격 능력 평가? 양호.
제대로 꽂혔는데.
불쌍하게 울부짖는 건
적중에 정신 못 차리는 녀석이 있네.
처리해 볼까요? 인도적인 조치는 필요 없을 거예요.
시간 끌 것 없이
12수에게 명한다.
모조리
이 앞에
치워버리죠.
숨쉬는 자.
That throwing the ebony knight off a mountain does nothing. The guy just gets back and walks back up the mountain to beat you up. He's pretty tough.
무용하군요.
So guys, what are the ego gifts that you can get in the AK dungeon?
허술하긴.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 분실도 이러면 얼마나 좋습니까? 유효하군. 죽어.
Since you also need to farm it as well.
개체에게 일격을 가하는데 성공했습니다. 샴페인을 가져오기엔 너무 이른 타이밍이긴 하겠지만
Tremor, one for
이 전투가
rupture and
성공적으로
healing, and some that give you
모두의
e-sources.
희생을 기리며 특별을
E-sources,
드는
but they're kind of meh.
나쁘지 않겠죠. 시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠.
뱀으로 꿰뚫어라.
괜찮은 공격이네요. 앞으로도
저
그렇게만 해주세요.
해충들을 도려내라.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Oh my god, back.
사여.
That felt good.
길을 열어. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도
効果的な攻撃でした。
아직 죽진 마라.
틈을 끊어 이제 깨우치시길. 효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
적에게 치명상을 입혔군요. 관리자님은 당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘
여행에는
말씀드렸죠.
목적이 있었지.
저는 언제나 옳은 말만 한답니다.
엘리트オペレーターの身の腕前です。
흑수묘, 뜀박질 춤.
짠짠짠.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えます。
Okay, actually, guys, I think after this fight, I should wrap it up so I can get some rest. I need
치명적인
to rest
한방이었어.
up and heal.
거의 진압되겠는걸요?
맞아. 여기까지 다 울리지 않았어?
I'm sorry, I wanted to get to the boss, but I don't think I'll have enough time thanks to the last kite.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
But I was glad I could share the last kite fight with you guys. The last dungeon's also a long fight. I do know that much.
샴페인을 가져오기엔 너무 이른 타이밍이긴 하겠지만
Y'all have warned me.
성공적으로
It
끝나면
takes a long time on that
모두의 희생을
fight.
기리며 축배를 드는 것도 나쁘지 않겠죠.
불가 위야 막아내지 못하리.
Last night destroyed me at most. Destroyed me as well. At most, 5 minutes.
가치없군. 죽어라.
15 minutes? No, Shiroi. It would take multiple hours. I've heard the stories. Most people have taken 8 hours for this entire collab.
이제 끝내지.
God, I wish I didn't hurt my wrist.
예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
If I didn't, I would have been able to do this entire thing on stream. But now I have to split it up, do some on my own.
다리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요. 시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠.
The last boss is sort of manageable if you know his gimmicks. In and out, quick 2-hour collab, 8 hours later. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
가치 없군. 죽어라.
There's a wave to...
내가 있는 곳까지
Oh, because
흔들리던데.
we're fighting
네,
Fabian again.
완벽한
Or
돌입이었어요.
Fabius. We're fighting Fabuloso.
일기당천.
그림자 속으로 가라앉게.
Alright, narrate the entire storyline of the crossover for lore reasons. We showed up through a dimensional door. We were invited by a group of people that said they were good people. They turned out to be bad people. We met Irene, who turned out to be who we thought was a bad person, but it turned out she was good people. She then proceeded to become... We were about to get into a fight, but Kalina Ann came in and saved us. Then we ended up finding out that these villagers were bad people. They stabbed us in the back, literally. And then we ended up showing off our revival powers. And then...
敵は深手を負っています。
we fought the last kite to get a ship. The end.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
And then Doctor and Kalina, or Docta, showed up to help us.
무상한 목숨
Arknights.
불끈에 지원했군.
maximum stupidity from the sinners and Dante from this one. Hey, they didn't know that these guys were evil.
뛰어난 병사라도 적재적소에 쓰지 않으면 무위무능한 법. 우선 전황부터 살피지.
형국 정도는 읽었다. 나머지는 칼을 휘두를 일 아닌가.
흑수묘, 뜀박질 춤.
You remember how you thought that we were good innocent villagers? Just kidding.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
비틀거리고 있는 개체가 보입니다. 이전까지 있었던 대부분의 관리자들은 이 타이밍에서
자,
결정적인 일격을
어느
지시하고
쪽일지
있죠.
잘 생각해보라고.
친히 목을 떨궈주마.
가치 없군.
타겟 무력화 확인.
공적을 인사과에 보고해두겠습니다.
None of that. None of your tentacle tendril attack.
흐릿한 등화,
Ling.
곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식후의 한
God, that hurts.
용이 되어 빈 벼로에
タン
남았구나.
タさんの作戦とても効果的でした。
Oh my god.
제가
잠깐만
누누이 조심하라고 말씀드렸지 않습니까?
So even though you win the clash, he still staggers your entire squad.
산 넘고 무수히 넘고 얼마든지 꺾고 제쳐라.
개체의
내
유효한
앞을
속성을
달리시오.
정확하게 간파했습니다.
아시다면
제
는 그리할 수
예상만큼
있어.
관리자님의 능력이 우수하다는 것이 증명되는 것 같아 다행이군요. 틈을 끊어.
Too bad he got staggered too, nerd.
이제
겹겹의 중
해결사의 전투법도
뚫어보이겠어.
익숙해지네요.
불가 위야. 막아내지
You keep forgetting the Roomba? Have you been watching this fight? I used it twice. Silly boy.
직원들이 우세한 환경에 있습니다. 관리자님이 제 말을 집중해서 듣고 있었다는 결과겠죠. 이런 과정들을 통틀어 신뢰라고 부른다고 하더군요. 긍정적인 변화네요.
Clearing the path, my lord.
토끼를 보내라. 넌 푸름을
Answer me, Heisho.
도려내라.
틈을 끊어. 바로
And now,
전술의 승리.
I carve the path of a lord.
관리자가 아니라 지휘관이었던 거 아니야?
개체에게 일격을 가하는 데 성공했습니다. 샴페인을 가져오기엔 너무 이른 타이밍이긴 하겠지만 이 전투가 성공적으로 끝나면 모두의 희생을 기리며 축배를 드는 것도 나쁘지 않겠죠. 틈을 깨우치시게.
Oh, cool.
가치 없군. 시도는 좋았어요.
Easy, clear. Alright, good deal. Okay, guys, so like I said, I am going to do the rest of the story and read the rest of the story on my own time and do the dungeon on my own time. I'm gonna at least unlock it for you guys because I want to sit down and rest and let my wrists have a chance to rest. I want to thank you guys for being here. Oh, hold on, wait. There we go. Oh my god, it is a dungeon. Okay, there we go. Okay, I want to thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry we couldn't do the entire story read through and also do the rest of the Limbus company stuff all in one go. I wish that I could, but after my recent wrist issues, it's been difficult. Hopefully, I'll get back to restore full functioning capability here soon. But I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best part of every single stream, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Keep an eye out for the next stream. I usually try to put it up like 2 hours before. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye for now.